You ever wonder what makes a great gamer? Great gaming is not only about cheering on our teammates, but also being there to pick us up when we're down.
Guardian down!
Have you ever played Destiny with a fellow Guardian and thought to yourself, I wonder what their life is like? Questions like these spark conversation, friendship, and community. We're a Destiny 2 podcast that focuses on three things: community, news around the gaming industry and Destiny 2, and thought-provoking topics in the game. We're Guardian Downcast. Your stories, your community, your destiny. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 281 of Guardian Downcast, a Destiny podcast. I'm your host, ToddtheGatr, and I'm a Day One Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, your destiny. This week, we have a new guest on the show. She's been a very helpful member of our community, as she is often jumping into raids and dungeons, helping other members get their clears, and she's even tolerated playing Crucible with this salty old man. She's the cat-loving Guardian from Idaho and a past Guardian Downcast member of the week. Actually, our first member of the week. So please welcome Alekate. How are you tonight, Alekate?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Very good. Thanks for coming on the show tonight. Everyone, I think, has been anticipating this one. I think Kingsley, Kingsley tried. I tried. We asked her several times. She said, no, I'm good. And then finally we convinced her to come on the show tonight.
We had to get the green M&Ms ready, but it was worth it.
Yeah, that rider was rough, man. I'm not going to lie. She wanted cat toys and some catnip in there. And I just went to my local pet store and just bought a bunch of stuff. So we were good. So I kid.
Hey, if the little fur demons are happy, I'm happy.
That's true. So. That's true. We'll probably hear one of them tonight too. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. Well, for those of you who may have just discovered, I'm sorry. My co-host Kingsley Mack is here tonight. Sorry.
No worries. It's all about the guest, but glad to be here once again. Thanks.
I'm kind of new to this live stream stuff. So thank you, man. Thanks for coming on tonight. RNG is off with family tonight, but, he'll be back, I think, in 2 weeks. He's going to be on our holiday roundtable episode. I am so looking forward to that one. I have a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time now. And yeah, I can't wait to do it. So, well, for those of you who have just discovered our podcast, we are a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise and have been producing audio episodes for over 5 years now. As the game has evolved, we have adopted things in our show as well. We have decided to produce a live vodcast of our show on YouTube, where you can interact with us in the chat live on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll also have a replay of tonight's show on my channel. And of course, the audio version will also always be available for our podcast apps, and you can always go to our website, guardiandowncast.com, to listen to any individual episodes as well on demand. Well, in this episode, we'll start by getting to know our new guest and how she found this crazy game we call Destiny. Then I'll test her Twitch reflexes with our fast fire question and answer segment we call, oh yeah, it's back, the speed run. And this week in Destiny, Bungie talks about their new and improved holiday event, The Dawning. So we will talk about what is new this year and how much we're going to play it. And of course, if anyone in the chat wants to post any questions for us, just make sure to @ one of us on the show so we can see your message. And if you have any feedback for us from anything we talk about tonight, let us hear it in our Discord. It's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. If you'd like an invite to our community, and you can post that feedback in our show feedback channel. I'm sure Kingsley can attest. It's pretty lively on Monday morning, or Monday afternoon, I should say. Well, I do want to remind you that this is the last week to participate in our Guardian Downcast year-end survey, where you can give us feedback for our podcast in general, and you can have a chance to win a $100 Amazon digital gift card to boot. So go to guardiandowncast.com/survey if you want your voice to be heard. We'll have a drawing for the gift card on next week's live show on Friday the 13th. Friday, December 13th, Kingsley. We'll We'll see who's lucky.
Wait, am I scheduled to be on?
Yes, you're scheduled to be on. And someone's going to be lucky on an unlucky day, supposedly. So we'll see how that goes. So go there now if you don't want to forget and enter the contest we have just for answering out some questions about the show. And then finally, before we leave tonight, we'll add some more music to our Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and Apple Music. The links to follow it will be in our show video description down below and our show notes in the audio podcast version as well. So if everyone's ready, let's roll.
Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. There are several ways you can contact us. First, you can find us on X at Guardian Downcast. Or you can find us on our Instagram at Guardian Downcast and see what pics and reels ToddtheGatr and his podcast guests want to share with you guys. We have a brand new website too. Just visit guardiandowncast.com, where you can find all of our contact info, leave us a voicemail, give our show a rating or review, search for any past episodes, or even give back to our community. Also, don't forget to sign up for future updates to the show, where we'll also have random drawings throughout the year, and you may win a gift card or even some GDC merch. And finally, you can send us an email at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. Our community thrives on interaction, so get involved and check us out.
All right, Alekate. I've only wanted to ask you questions for 6 months now. Well, I'm glad we finally are able to do that tonight. Thanks again for coming on the show. First, where are you from? What do you do? Let's start there.
Well, I live in Southeast Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up, in Southern Idaho, and I moved around a bit when I was younger. I moved, landed in my current town about 10, 15 years ago, and been here ever since. I spend every day working at one of our local sign shops. So
awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to mention any, but I used to do a lot of work with sign shops, not in Idaho, but doing IT stuff, and also a lot of my customers, of course, that are graphic designers, and then moving things over to them. Always impressed with what people can do with large format printing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Alekate, sorry, I'm going to make that mistake a lot tonight.
That's fine.
I keep thinking of Kansas Kate. It's a friend I used to game with all the time named Ninja Muffin. I'm sure some of you in the chat know who I'm talking about, but I always called her Kate. So sorry if I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to put it under the senile folder. What was one of your earliest video game moments? When did you get into video games?
Okay, well, I'm going to preface that by saying I'm part of Gen X. So I'm, full-fledged member of the old man squad.
Awesome.
And I grew up, we had the Atari 2600, precursor to the Nintendo. We insert the game cartridge, got to blow out that dust, make sure it registers.
You got to tap it too.
You'd have your nice little joystick that had a button and a little stick, and that was your whole controller.
Yeah, that thing wore out so fast. Oh my God. Did you have the joystick that used to be rigid? It was just like went everywhere. It was just so worn out. Oh my God. Right.
I don't think I was ever got to that point. But that's some of the early gaming memories. If I really want to go back, don't know how many people would even remember these. Texas Instruments, ages and ages and ages, millennia ago, actually tried to go and get into the computer market. And so for us to go and play a game, we had a nice little book, and would have to type in line after line of code, and then save it to a cassette deck, and then run that cassette deck back into the computer for us to go and play this game on the TV. And so we would have this stack of cassettes that were all labeled with the different games because for each game, there would be anywhere between 500 and 5,000 lines of code that all had to be typed in correctly. That there was no buying it already ready to go on a disc. And that's I remember my older brother, my mother, and I sitting there passing the keyboard back and forth as we got tired typing in these games.
People don't I don't think these kids these days know how easy it is. They have it now. We used to have to enter in the perfect sentence. I learned basic programming long ago, and if you had one decimal off, anything off, it just wouldn't work. That was it.
However, I will give a contrary to that.
Oh,
usually to start a game, at least it was a short sentence.
That's true.
That can be easier than a computer these days. You have to update a million drivers.
It's true.
You got to do this, you got to do that. So yes, it's easier in a way, but it's also more complex in a way.
It's true.
I say it's just a totally different world these days.
Mm-hmm. My gosh, has gaming come a long way. Man, you know what's cool is I can say I've lived all of it. I've lived all of gaming up to today. I'm one of the OGs when it comes to gaming. Yeah. And apparently you are too. You go back further than I do. I didn't play the Texas Instruments game, but I remember it. I remember about it, but TRS-80 was my first computer. Radio Shack made it. Yeah, but we learned basic stuff on that. I can't remember. It was some game we played. It was a yes or no. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road, Todd. Well, how did you find this game Destiny? And are you a taken tot like Kingsley here, or were you a day one Guardian, or?
Well, I'm a PC gamer, so the original Destiny, it
wasn't on PC.
Never really crossed my radar. I knew the name, I knew it was a big franchise, people had fun with it, but I didn't really know what it was. When Destiny 2 came out, I was actually, World of Warcraft had me in its grip, and Bungie had partnered with Activision, which is part of Blizzard. So it went and popped up on the nice little Warcraft launch screen that, hey, they were doing this stress test on the Destiny 2 servers. And it's like, well, why not? Let's, hop in, try this game. Might be something I like. Really didn't catch me then, because by the time I downloaded the game, I'd missed the stress test window. But Blizzard went and gave away, licenses for people like who had been subscribed to Warcraft forever. And I hopped in one day, played for a while, had some fun. But I didn't really get hardcore, serious about Destiny 2 until Forsaken. So, well, I've, technically played since Red War, done all those campaigns. It was really during the Forsaken and then Beyond Light that really pulled me in.
Yeah, Beyond Light was, I still call it the Ice Planet Hoth, but it could have been a frustrating game, but it's not one of my favorite expansions, because what you had to do to acquire your stasis subclass, it was just brutal. The repetition and everything you had to do. Go here, do this, go there, do this. And it was all the same just to unlock another fragment or an aspect, I don't know if you remember those days, but.
And then you had to do it again for every character because the fragments didn't carry over.
I said, no, I refuse. I refuse, Bungie. I will just not have stasis on my Titan or my Hunter. Sorry. And then finally they changed things a little bit where it could be done a little easier, but man, that was brutal. But, so Forsaken was your first expansion? Is that what you said?
Well, I mean, I've played it all.
Okay.
But that was when I first started. Gotcha. That was when I first started playing it as a regular thing.
Gotcha.
Because Warcraft, you very much, it's in there. You're in there every day. You're grinding rep, and it just ate up a lot of my life. And it wasn't until I was ready to go and break the ties with Warcraft that I really started getting into the Destiny.
That's awesome. Yeah. My son was.
I'm trying to remember, did it come out on PC about halfway through year one? Something like that? Or a few months in?
18?
No, it was before Forsaken, like you said.
Oh, that's right. 2016.
But it wasn't at the very beginning of Destiny 2, was it? It was like somewhere within year one.
No,
I can look it up. But
I remember doing the PC beta. I think was like 6 months. I think it was like 6 months after the original Destiny.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
2016, I want to think. 2017, sorry. Yeah. It was like, what was it, like September, October, and then I think in December is when the beta came out for PC, and then going into that next year.
Yeah.
I think that, if I remember correctly, that's the way it was. It's been, man,
And I loved playing on PC, but until they made cross save, I stayed on PlayStation because I didn't want to start over. And I know some people that did start over because they loved PC so much. I'm like, guys, if you just wait a little bit, they might make cross save. And those people had to re-earn all these weapons. Yeah. And I'm glad I waited. I just stuck on PlayStation until, even though I was itching to play on PC. And then they did cross save, and then I switched over and never looked back.
Yeah, I remember I played my PS4 controller on the PC beta, and I loved it. It seemed like the controller had less vibration, less recoil. It seemed like the gun acted differently on PC than it did on console. But I went back to console, and then I kind of jumped between the two. And then when cross save came out, it was a no-brainer. I bought games for both of them. So that's awesome. Good deal. Good deal. I know you talked a little bit before we recorded tonight, but do you have a favorite memory from Destiny 2?
Honestly, it's hard to go and pinpoint any one memory.
Okay.
Like I say, I know my first raid stands out in my mind because that was just so mind-blowing to me. Stumbling across or getting invited into the community here was huge for me. So, I mean, there's just a lot of happy memories. I can't sit there and say this is the best one.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your first raid? Was it Leviathan, or did you start later?
Deepstone.
Okay.
That was when I joined my first clan. That was when I first got my taste of, the whole raiding within Destiny. That was the group that introduced me to dungeons and grandmasters and everything out there that you don't do solo.
Right. We all play video games for different reasons. What is yours? What do you get out of video games? What's your main reason for doing it?
The thing that it keeps me in a game is the community, the people. It's, you get here, you make your friends, and you have something in common, and you can sit there, you play, you have fun, you relax, you can talk about what's going on, in your day, and you meet people from so many different walks of life. And, so you're sitting there, you're doing a dungeon, and every single person in there, does something different, has different perspectives, and just some of the conversations that get rolling in those they're not something you're going to run into in your day-to-day life because, I sit there, I work with the same 5 people, see them every day. Okay, I can tell you, he does this, he does that, he does that. And okay, and it's the same thing the next day. But you come into Destiny, you get in a group, and it's totally different. Everybody's different. Everybody has something new going on. So it's very much the people for me.
Well, our community, boy, they came out and with the questions this week. So I'm going to try to integrate their questions in with your interview tonight. Because like I said, this is going to be a big chunk of our show tonight.
Yeah, we have a lot for you. So
I'll start from the top, Kingsley. HD Tech, he says, so I know your kids are older now. You ever feel like raising kids all over again in the Wednesday night raids? By the way, you are the best raid explainer I have ever met.
Okay, this is a loaded question because one of my kids is actually in the chat.
Which one's that? You want to call him
Wild
out?
Rage.
Okay, gotcha. I'll keep an eye on him.
Her,
gotcha.
Yeah. No, she's my oldest.
Okay.
But no, I don't feel that like the raids are raising my kids. It's probably, much safer that way. Just because, it's that whole thing is when you have your kids, you're raising them and you can't be their friend. I mean, you want to be their friend, but you also, you have to be the disciplinarian. You have to be the teacher. You have to be, and in a raid, yeah, I'm teaching, I'm explaining, but it's a more even basis because that whole parent, guardian, authority figure can go out the window.
Yeah, I got you.
And can just relax and have fun.
Well, since you're Gen X, your kids are probably approaching their 20s? Without calling them out.
No, my daughter is 20. My youngest just hit 19.
Oh, you're almost there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren is my daughter. She's, hold on, 25? Yeah, 25. So, yeah, she's in chat too. I'm sure she'll pipe up. McMaximo had a question for you as well. He goes, the first time I met Kate was doing prophecy with Ronin Red Lion. At that time, she said she was an avid raider, but didn't do many dungeons. Curious why that is.
Head count. You go in to do a raid, you got your 6 people. And for me, it's always easier to go and jump into a group that needs 6 people than it is a group to do 3. Yeah, I have a hard time, I'm an introvert, I'm shy, and I have a hard time asking for help. I always feel like I'm, I feel like I'm pulling somebody away from what they want to do to help me. I'm imposing on their time. But it's, so asking somebody, hey, do you want to do this dungeon and so on, because it's for me, I really feel bad about that. Whereas 6-man, that's 6 people trying to do that. And, it's a little bit easier for me to go and hop into that group.
Right.
So, I mean, I love doing dungeons. I'm starting to speak out more. Hey, I want to do this, or I'm grabbing on, if somebody says that, I'll hop in and join, but it's always easier, or has been easier for me to get into the larger groups.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say a couple things. First of all, HD is kind of like a kid. We love you. I do agree with the comment about you being a great raid Sherpa. At least it's a style that I appreciate also. I don't care to Sherpa as much these days, but I just tired, lazy, getting older. I don't know. But
get off my lawn. But
I always kind of hear how other people are doing it, and there's different styles that I appreciate more than others. So that's pretty cool. Also, I totally agree on the dungeon thing too. It's so interesting, and I don't think I've ever put those words out there to anyone before, but I feel the exact same way, where I'd rather play with 6 people than 3. A lot of times we've had the discussions, Gatr and other people, where like, oh, we don't like 6-player seasonal activities, but I way prefer 6-player seasonal activities than the 3-player ones. Because again, it's like closer to a raid like me, even if I'm just playing with randos. Mm-hmm. And yes, being an introvert also, it's a little easier to kind of fit in a raid group than a dungeon group. When you're in a dungeon group with just 3 people, sometimes it's a little bit chirp, like, what are we supposed to talk about? I mean, usually it's not too bad, but yeah, so I just appreciate everything you said.
Yeah. Well, I have a 2-part question for you here. And then Kingsley, maybe you can grab a couple more out of the sure. Discord after this. What if you were to, what is your favorite character in the game? But more importantly, if we could only have one NPC in the whole tower, who would it be?
Okay, so favorite character, are we talking just the lore character, the NPCs, or are we talking
anything in the game? Anything in the game.
Drifter.
Oh, everybody likes Drifter.
Every girl loves a bad boy. What else can you say?
I got you.
And I'd want to hang with Drifter, so I agree.
I mean, he's in Destiny Rising. You can talk to him all the time. It's his younger self. It's pretty cool, actually, to see that. Yeah. Okay. Does that go the same for the NPC as well?
If we only had one NPC, that one's a little bit hard, because each NPC that we interact with for a different reason.
All right, I'll change it.
And
of all of the NPCs, what is your favorite that you like to go and talk to every day?
If I'm checking in with them every day, it's Banshee. I kind of wish there's a little more dialogue options with him. We got his whole story with the Banshee's Whale there in, they're in the frozen tundra, and I like that. It really fleshed out his character and who he was. And there's times I wish that we had more dialogue with him, or even kind of had that background for more of the NPCs.
Priceless Clouds like Crow. No. Crow, no.
She can have her emo. I like my bad boy.
I guess. With his little part. Never mind. There was a new cutscene where he looks like he did his hair different. I was like, Now he's got the.
Yeah, he's wearing different.
Yeah, he's got
it's from the
He's got the
DLC.
emo part. Yeah, he's got the emo. Yeah. He's got the emo part now. He's like full emo now.
Well, no, instead of having it down, he's up there with a man bun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate Crow. He's just okay. He's much better. I mean, Ikora just kicks everybody's ass. Okay, Kingsley, what do you got?
Yeah, a couple more questions here for me. If you had to choose one raid to wipe from memory and had to learn all over again, which raid would you choose? Oh, this is really interesting. I mean, Fluffy says he would choose Salvation's Edge. Verity was brain melting, loved every minute of it, and Ronan helped him through it. But yeah, what do you think?
Okay, this is going to be a little bit controversial, but Root of Nightmares. Not because the encounters are hard, and not because I want to go and relearn it, but because Root of Nightmares actually has some emotional ties to me that aren't entirely pleasant. So the whole raid, because of those memories, is tainted for me. And I'd love to have all that wiped so I could go in there and learn this raid and appreciate it and love it the way everybody else does. I mean, I go in there, I'll run it, but it's every time I go in, there's like this shadow just there in the background.
Oh, love the answer. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. What's worse, having trouble making a difficult jump or finally making it, only to have someone knock you off the cliff? Not that anything like that would ever happen in the Wednesday night raids, and that's from Mick Maximo.
I know exactly who does it too.
No, Cloud, HD Tech, my kids. That never happens.
Cloud does it to me in the Crucible game. Like, Cloud, I'm trying to kill people over here. Yeah.
Is this before or after she teabags you?
Exactly.
Love you, Cloud. But I mean, if you're struggling to get a drum, you finally get it, you get that sense of accomplishment. If you're struggling to get it, you finally get it, and somebody knocks you off, that's where you want to reach through the screen and hurt somebody. So, there is no happy end to that.
Well, I'll add to that. Do you have a jumping puzzle that you appreciate the most? You can take that however you want. Maybe it's the easiest to you, or maybe it was hard, but once you got it, you liked it.
The one I struggle with most is the one inside Vow of the Disciple. It's the only one where I've sat there, looked at it, and like, no, I'm having a bad day. I'm not doing this, and actually jumped out to orbit until the group got through it. Mm-hmm. I can get through it. I've done it, but it's every time I go in there, I struggle. And so it's like I'm the one at the end of the jumping puzzles. It's always lagging behind just because I do struggle with those.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The ledges,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And I've mentioned before, it's fair for Warlocks to have a hard time with that because it doesn't play well with how, when we do our jumps, we tend to hit our head a lot with that geometry. You really got to do more horizontal jumps half the time. And I feel like Hunters have an easier time in that raid than Warlocks do.
Yeah, see, if I'd thought about it, I actually would have taken my Hunter in the last couple rounds, just because it's much easier for me to get through it.
Mm-hmm. It is for that raid, yeah.
But yeah, for that one reason alone is why I would switch characters.
You may have already answered this question, but how did you originally find our community?
Well, in a prior plan, I met Geek and Headley.
Oh, that's right.
And
you mentioned that earlier. I thought you mentioned something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
And, met the two of them. And like I say, we all ended up leaving that clan for different reasons. Ended up in different places. And I got a whisper from the two of them one time telling me, hey, you should go and join this Discord. Because they knew I was struggling finding raids where I was at. And they're all, come on, get in here. You'll like it. And so I joined the Discord. Then I ended up joining a couple of raids. And next thing I know, I'm in the clan. And I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, if there's one thing I would tell people I know a lot of people, we have a ton of people who join and just lurk. And once you jump into that, and Kingsley's going to mention about our new bot we have in our Discord here when we catch up. But if you just jump in that first raid, it just makes things so nice. You realize what good people there are in our community, and you want to keep coming back. So I think a lot of people miss out on that. Or maybe, you know, everyone has their hang-ups. Mine, I'm very shy usually. So it's hard for me to speak up and say, hey, I'd like to play that, but I haven't done it before. And in our community, it's no problem. We got people all over the place that love to help people. So yeah. Kate, I had an important question for you here. Do you do bounties?
Always.
See, Kingsley, got to get paid. Got to get paid. I love it.
If I'm in there doing something, I've got a bounty, whether it's Banshee on a weapon or, you know, I go to do, you know, whatever Triumph on the Moon. I'm right there with Eris. Everything she has that I might possibly touch while I'm there, I'm grabbing it.
Why not? You know, the only glimmer.
Yeah.
Like we have plenty of that, right? Right.
Always.
Yeah, exactly. Zombie Pops had a question for you here. He says, what is your favorite raid encounter? No cop-outs. You have to pick one. Favorite raid encounter?
Chaos Room in Deepstone.
Oh.
Because it's chaos. When I first learned it, it would drive me nuts. I'd be stressed. But now that I've got it down, I love the chaos.
Nice. It's always chaos when I'm in there. It's probably because I'm in there. But
it's the best way to do it.
Kingsley's
Trying to organize it makes it more complicated than it needs to be. Chaos is the best.
Chaos to us because Gatr doesn't know what he's doing.
Kingsley's so used to people who know what they do, and I get in there, I'm like, oh, I swear he has to play two other characters because I'm in there because he has to be watching to make sure I know what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, geez, just chaos mode. Finally, he throws his hands up, chaos mode, so everyone just makes sure that everything's covered. So, yeah, that is a fun part of that raid. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get one more from Discord, Kingsley. We got several to ask
this
here.
This one was already kind of asked then. What's one of your most memorable raid moments from Scarlet, right? Didn't we seem to have that already?
It might have been pre-show.
Yeah, it might have been pre-show. You can answer that, or along with you can answer, how does it feel from Don Wiggles to be the uncontested raid Mom Sherpa with all the best jokes?
She's got jokes.
Well, to my knowledge, I say being raid mom. Not sure how I feel about mom. You know, so Mom Sherpa. Like I said, it's kind of a toss up. And if I have the best jokes, then we're in a world of hurt, folks.
Hey, they could call you Raid Grandpa. Yeah, I mean, not you, but
I'm
me.
gonna have to remember that.
Shit. I gotta quit talking. Okay. Ronan's just the coolest dude. He has some questions for you here. What's some advice you would give to a player who hasn't done any raids or dungeons yet, is maybe a bit intimidated, but is curious to try them out?
Be kind to yourself. It's probably the big thing. You know, you go into a raid for the first time or a dungeon for the first time. Let the group know that it's your first time there. You know, don't stress that if you don't, don't stress that you don't know exactly what to do, or that don't worry that you're going to mess up on an encounter. If you're with people and they know they're teaching, they're expecting you to mess up. They're there to go and help you out, help you learn. While at the same time, being stressed out about it, you're more likely to forget. The whole idea of going in and raiding is to have fun. And so you should just, relax, get in there and have fun.
Yeah. And you get the yips anyway. If you start, I do that all the time. I psych myself out because I'm so worried about not doing my job. Yeah. You just gotta chill. Just relax. Makes perfect sense.
We all are our own worst critic. So, that's the whole thing is if you can get over get past that wall, relax, go in and have fun. You're going to have fun.
Exactly. I mean, we're playing video games. What are we here for if we're not having fun,
Exactly.
I already got a job. I don't need another one. I don't need another boss breathing down my neck going, hey, you didn't do that right. Do it again, Anyway. One question I had, and you probably already answered this as well. You probably gave it away earlier, but are you a Titan Hunter or Warlock main?
These days, Warlock.
Nice.
Once upon a time, it was Hunter, but Warlock's where it's at.
It's okay. You're among friends here. fellow warlocks.
3 warlocks walked into a bar.
Yes, they did.
You'd think one of them would duck.
Good.
Threw me off. Well, okay. All right, then I'll follow up. What made you want to choose a warlock as your main? What is it? What are the redeeming qualities of a warlock that you see that are better than the other two, or you like better than the other two?
It's personality. I was playing Hunter. That's the class I started with, and I was going in and I was having fun. But I was in a group where we were going in raiding 3 times a week. So you're switching characters so you can still get the loot. And that's where I ended up playing the Warlock because we wanted that well. And I just got to the point where I had better survivability as a Warlock. I had more fun as a Warlock because I wasn't stressing about being number 1 on the damage meter. And I mean, Warlocks can still hit that now. And yeah, as Corp says in chat, the div, you got to have somebody running div. But it just, because it was a little more relaxed and I wasn't looking for wasn't stressing myself out trying to hit that damage, I was having more fun. And it's also, a little bit more about the personality is I like being that support person. I like being able to go and toss out the rifts and the heals and keeping the rest of the team up so they can do the damage.
Yeah, team player. Yeah, you can't be. I mean, I feel like warlocks are like a Swiss Army knife. Whatever you need, usually we can fill that gap. Whereas I think hunters and titans are more limited in what they can do. Granted, they can do a lot of things better than a warlock, but I think they're more limited on what they can do. I know. Don't at me. I'm just stating my opinion as a
Maybe
bona fide
titans,
warlock.
But hunters are pretty flexible.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have some love for hunters.
Yeah.
Sure.
I say hunters are up there, but warlocks nudging them out. So
I would have to say in Crucible, hunters are probably more fun to play than any other class because you have so many little tricks you can use in Crucible. But I just like being able to sail over people as they're trying to 3-hop. I call it the Mario effect. Boing, 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 trying to get to ledges where they can get up and climb up to areas. I don't like hopping. I like just gliding and flying in the air like a god and then landing where I want to land. Anyway.
yeah.
But does that get you a better KO or are the hunters still winning?
I don't know. There's a lot of hunters.
I feel like hunters are always like top of the leaderboard when you talk about PvP.
Yeah, they have a smaller body shape, which I still think makes a difference as far as the hitboxes. I know I'm probably wrong, but it seems like it does. They seem like they're smaller to me.
Always excuses.
Harder to hit. But they got dodges and they can go invisible. They can throw traps and smoke bombs. And I mean,
you're a god floating above all of them.
No, not in a Crucible.
Well, that's the whole problem because when you're floating, you're up there and you're a target and they can hit you.
No. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. I meant floating over people trying to do jumping puzzles in the raid where I'm just cruising around the corners.
Yeah, okay.
Now, what I call gliding like a god in the Crucible is you're a pigeon. You're going to get shot out of the air. So,
yes.
Yeah. No, I have to blink. Hey, just a quick reminder that we have several Destiny 2 clans, and we invite all of you to be a part of it. If you're looking for a home to share your Destiny experiences, now would be a great time to jump in and get to know some of these great gamers. We're here for the community and friends you make along the way, and no hardcore restrictions. And enjoy what time you have, for Destiny is all we ask. So if you're looking for a clan out there, join our Discord. That's discord.gg/GuardianDownCast, and just reach out to a mod, and we'll open the door for you. So join us. And later, Guardian. Okay, Ronan has a follow-up here. What qualities make for the best cat?
Hey, cats pick the owner doesn't pick the cat.
Good point.
So
you take what
do you want do you want a cat that hates you, or do you want a cat?
I understand completely. He follows up with, what is the best hobby or craft project you've completed?
Okay. Well, like I say, I crochet, and most of what I do is just blankets and so on. A couple years ago, I decided for some bizarre reason that I was going to make a Santa hat for my dad's cat.
Oh.
And so we had to take a picture of him because he only wore it the one day. But we've got his cat with this little red beanie on it that has this attached beard. And the cat was not happy with us.
I bet.
But I don't know why, but I was just so happy with myself that I was able to make that and make it work, for that one day.
That's cool. I tried putting little booties on my tabby long ago, and he about lost
Picked them
it.
right off.
About lost it. He didn't know what was going on. Dogs are about the same. All right. What is the most, what is your most favorite activity that you prefer to do all the time in the game, and why?
Well, raiding would be at the top of the list. If I'm not in a raid, if I'm out there running solo, I'm either in a strike or gambit.
Okay. Gambit's got some good stuff to go for right now. Yeah. Cool. Good deal. We have 4 more questions in the Discord for Alekate. Kingsley, if you want to pick a couple there.
Sure. All right. From Hammer Crasher, and this is a very good question. First off, Alekate is one of my favorite people to run dungeons and raids with. Question, is it hard or intimidating to get involved in a community as a woman? Any advice for ladies looking to get involved but are hesitant?
Okay, well, I'm going to prelude this with any advice I give is from my perspective. I can't speak for all women out there because they have different experiences. For me, yeah, it is hard going and jumping into something new. Like I say, every other female gamer out there I've talked to has had at least one of those instances where you jump into a chat, and the moment you say something, voice chat, where they know you're a girl, you've got the guys, teenage guys freaking out because girls don't game. So how could there be a gamer in the a girl in the channel? And, that's worst experience that I've run into. But because there is that stereotype, the girls that game are only there to be handed loot. They're not, they don't have the skills. That's just, I honestly can't say how prevalent that is in today's gaming world. But every time I jump into a new community, a new chat, people I don't know, I'm always afraid I'm going to run into that. And like I say, it's an unfortunate thing because that does cripple me in a lot of ways. It makes me sit there and debate, do I really want to go and jump into this? But the only thing I can suggest doing is that you're going to, just accept that you are going to run into that. And if you run into it and you don't like it, walk away. That's all you can do. I mean, for every time that I've run into somebody with that attitude, not just Gen X, from what Corp said, but even younger guys, newer groups, for every group I've run into that has somebody with that attitude that, girls can't game or that I'm less than, I rate lower as a gamer, I've run into 10 times as many people that are willing to accept me as an equal, that are, recognize my skill, and that I can hold my own. So it's, don't let the haters get you down. Put it behind you, forget about them. It's not worth, do what you love.
Yeah. And do you ever also run into, I'm curious, like almost the opposite side where people don't act their normal self, almost like they're trying to be too careful and give you special treatment?
Well, I was in one clan where they made it known in their recruitment, if you don't have thick skin, don't join. And that was just bottom line. That's how it is before you even walk in the door. Man, woman, don't care. And because you go in there and it was, in hindsight, it was a very toxic environment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't have that thick skin, you weren't going to make it. You had to be able to shrug off anything. And even now, if I go into a group, here within GDC, I'll join a group of people, and if it's people that haven't raided with me before, they're not really sure what they can say or at what point I'm going to get upset, because there's that mindset, okay, she's not one of the boys, so we got to behave ourselves. We got to watch what we say. We don't want to offend. I don't care. People have raided with me. Yeah, they've learned this. I don't care. You want to go and have a dick measuring contest out back? Go for it. I'm there to have fun. I can laugh at the dirty jokes.
Yeah.
I'm not your mom. I'm not going to say, go wash your mouth out with soap. I don't care.
Yeah, it's always an interesting thing, and I always have to tell myself too. That's why I asked. But like, I know that some people may try to, if I'm not saying it correctly, forgive me, but almost act too careful, right? And I appreciate what you say. And I mean, yes, I see, even if just the guys are together, there's a lot of stupid things that are being said that people should walk away from anyways. But in any group, like, you should just try to be a cool, chill, nice person, and don't be, like we've learned from you, don't be extra mean to a certain gender or whatever. And don't try to be like worried either, because then you're like almost doing a reverse thing too. So I really appreciate hearing your thoughts. And like you said, It is different.
Just
for
treat me like treat me like I'm part of the group. Don't sit there and think that I have to be treated. I don't need kid gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to break. I don't need to be treated special. Just, treat me with the same respect and decency that you would somebody else. That's all I ask.
I would equate it to two different situations. 6 people walk into an elevator. How do you act? Are you, you're probably not going to be, saying, bro, this chick is on my, that kind of stuff. You're probably going to be respectful. I just say, act like a bunch of grown-ups. Act like grown-ups. And another one would be if you're meeting 6 people meeting at a party, like you find a corner. That's where I'd be, because I'm an introvert. I go to a party and I immediately go whoop, right to the wall. All the high school dances, I was up against the wall, and
introverts unite.
My mom my mom says, honey, the girls aren't going to come up to you. You got to go to them. I'm like, yeah, I know. But that's just the thing. But yeah, I find that when soon as a girl enters in a fire team, it just gets quiet. And that's such an uncomfortable silence. And I usually chime up and say something, because I don't like that. I want everyone to be comfortable in the fire team. But if I don't know everybody in the fire team, then everyone's kind of on the same footing. But it's a tough, I think we talked about this on a roundtable. We had all female gamers on our show, and we had a whole show about this. If you go back on one of our roundtable episodes on our website, it was in there where we talked about this very thing. I think Mohawk Angel was there. I think Brittany wanted to make it, but she's got a little one right now, so I don't think she can make it. But, oh my gosh, I'm so terrible with names. But we had 2 other, of our female community members.
Go back and check it out, people.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, exactly.
Worth a listen.
But we had a lot of conversation about that, and, hopefully that got through to some people. But moving on.
Okay.
I didn't want to stick on that content too long.
You want me to take it, or do you got the next one?
No, go ahead. You take it. Kingsley.
No worries. Yeah. Okay. Another one from Ronan Red Lion. What's the funniest thing you've ever had happen when playing with a group? And then what's an older must-play game for you that everyone should experience once?
Okay, so the older must-play game is probably a little bit easier for me to answer. Let's say I like Portal. It really got me started in a lot more of the first-person shooters, or modern-day controls. And it holds up even over time. You go back and you can play it now, and unless you've played it recently, you're still solving those puzzles all over again, and very kind of made you think outside the box. How does this work?
Mm-hmm.
And Portal 2 is more fun because it's co-op, and you can kill your partner at random, accidentally. Always.
That's crazy.
It's a good game.
I remember my son playing that on Xbox. Yeah. It's a cool game.
Yeah, so it was a fun one. Something funny or...
What's happened in a group?
What's the first part?
What's the funniest thing you've ever had happen when playing in a group? Other than Scarlett getting drunk.
Just Scarlett something's
Yeah,
always
Scarlett got drunk and did this.
I don't know, right?
He was asking you earlier in the chat if there was, what's your favorite Scarlett drunk moment? Maybe we'll just combine the two. Yeah.
Let's see. Funniest moments. Probably, running a raid with Cloud. And she sat there and did her sword thing and knocked Scarlet across the map. She was sitting there laughing at him as he was making his way back, and I may have accidentally nudged her off the ledge as I ran by.
Accidentally,
and she didn't see me. She did not see me coming. She did not see me leaving, and she was all, hey, wait a minute, what happened?
I approve.
It was, yeah. Nice. I mean, just every time we can catch Cloud off guard and kill her because she's trying to kill all of us.
She just likes doing that.
She just says, what in chat? Come on, you know.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have a feeling I just put a target on my back.
Next question I had was, unlike the Blueberry Lounge guys, we don't make you destroy weapons, but if you had to destroy everything in your vault, what one weapon is just a non-negotiable that you keep? And you can use them. You can, which one?
It's called the Vow. It is a bow that I got through Crucible ages and ages ago when they still did the Valentine games where you,
oh my gosh,
you had one partner. So it was kind of 2v2.
Yeah, I remember that.
The duos.
And
yeah,
duo play. And it's because my daughter was actually playing with me. And the two of us went into Crucible. We did the duo. I walked out with that bow. And she doesn't play Destiny with me anymore. But, I have that bow from the time we were playing together, and it's always going to be there. I'm not getting rid of that.
I remember that. I had to dismantle it because I didn't have enough room in my vault. Yeah.
No, it got priority. It wasn't gone.
Extra points. That is a great callback. I remember that bow, too. It was a kinetic bow. One of the very few, I think. Nice. Nice pull. MC Squared, he goes, hurry up and get done, Kate. We probably need your help in Salvation's Edge.
That's not a question.
No.
Yep, disqualified. Disqualified, MC Squared. Okay, we'll put time in. Can you time him out for me, Kingsley?
Okay.
All right. Final question from our Discord is from HD
Wait,
Tech.
now or when he hears the show? No.
Oh, well, whenever you want. No. Last one was from HD Tech here. He goes, so I want to ask a serious and honest question. People will say I own an outdoor cat, but if it is outdoor and you're not taking care of it, then how can it be your cat and not just some random cat wandering?
Okay, just because I own cats does not mean I'm the cat whisperer. But I mean, you're sitting there.
There's our title, Kingsley. Cat whisperer. Sorry.
Okay.
Blueberry Lounge has dubbed me the crazy cat lady, so I don't know.
Oh my god.
But the big question there is, are you feeding it? Are you providing shelter? Is there a reason that cat is staying there at your house and not moving down to your neighbors down the road?
Yeah.
Because if he's staying with you, then you're doing something, and he's yours.
Exactly.
He has chosen you and your family. So, HD might not be feeding it. One of his kids might be.
Oh, yeah.
And so it might not be his cat. It might be his daughter's cat, and he just doesn't know it yet.
Look, they'll wander some, but they generally stayed in the back. This was in Southern California growing up, and we had a half acre. And I would say, I mean, who knows what they were doing at night and everything, right? But I would say we saw them in our yard a good majority of the time, and we were feeding it and taking care of it that way. So it's definitely your cat when you do that.
When you feed it, he's yours.
Yeah, I have to agree. I grew up on 20 acres here in Florida, And we had a workshop. My dad was in construction, so we'd have a slide open big barn door. We'd slide it open and work in there and then close it at night. We had a cat. We just called it Shop Cat. We never gave it a name. We just called it Shop Cat. It was an ornery female calico with all the leopard stripes and stuff. And she was one tough cat, man. I think she lived 20 years. I swear, I think she lived 20 years. And we had a lot of wild animals. We had foxes. We had wild coyotes. We had wild boars. We had bears, black bears, of course. And this cat for 20 years survived. And, of course, we went to work every morning. We set out food for it. And on the weekends, we'd set a bigger pile of food out. But I remember we had some cold nights, too. And we lived we lived on the property. So I remember we'd have some cold nights and a corpse was saying and let it in. We would crack the door so he could get inside and get out of the cold weather. So yeah, absolutely. If a cat lives outside, it can be your cat because it's relying on you. Mm-hmm. And 20 years we had that cat. It would let you pet it for exactly 7 or 8 seconds. You could count it down and then she'd swat you and say, "Get away. I'm done. Done with you. Get out of here. Get out of here, kid." And
I've had my tribute. Go away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, sounds good. Now get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, I've had enough of you. Where's my food?" But it was just the greatest cat. Took care of any mouse problem we had or any rat problem we had around the shop building. Just the greatest cat. So yeah, I agree. A few more questions. Wrap up here. If Bungie assigned you a small but versatile dev team that you are in charge, what would you work on next for Destiny 2?
Wow. And see, I'd want all the maps back, all the original maps from Crucible and Gambit that they went and dropped in the vault. I'd like to have them back. I would love to have the old campaigns back because there's just so much story there that, the newer Guardians are missing out on. It's a little timeline, that doesn't tell you anything. But being able to go back and have people play the Red War, I mean, even if it's just a one-time thing, phased where they can go in and experience that. I think that would give so much more to the community, so much more depth to the game, and these new players coming in would have a little more connection that they're missing out on because they missed all of that and they can't go see it.
I know they talked about after Final Shape going forward. I can't remember what blog it was, but they mentioned that they were going, I think this was actually a statement from Sony saying that they were going to rebrand the new player experience. So I'm curious what that's still going to be. Hopefully it's bringing back Red War. I played that campaign so many times on so many characters, so many accounts.
And you could go back and replay it on the characters you'd already done it on.
Yes.
It was great.
I loved it.
And it's when they went and created the current new player experience. I went and deleted my Titan, rolled a new one to go and see what it was. Mm-hmm. And it didn't explain anything. There was no connection to the story. You had no idea what was going on. And I was trying to figure out what I was doing all over again.
Yeah. You'd always find something new that, I didn't know. Oh, look at that. Okay. You'd find something different in the story that you didn't, because you're rushing through the first time, right? You're just trying to stay alive and you want to get to the end to see what happens. But it's nice
trying to figure out how.
Yeah.
How to
exactly.
Alive, what your tools are. And
yeah. Like when we went out to the ship and one of the, I remember distinctly, this is one of my favorite campaigns from Red War, where you go out and fix these modules on the ship so you could take off. But you had it was a trap and all of these Cabal would start coming at you from all sides. And they would be even jumping across the platforms to get to the launch pad where you were on. I don't know if you remember that one, but you had to run around underneath that ship and just try to stay alive. And of course you got these Colossus coming at you with their rail guns and stuff. It was good times. So many good times. So, okay. A few signature questions here before we go. You've already mentioned one hobby, but do you have any other hobbies other than gaming?
Well, the gaming, the crochet, I like to read. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
What's your flavor when you read? My wife loves suspense crime novels. That's what she reads.
Let's see. I like the Stephen King and all the different flavors of people like him. I like the fantasy,
nice.
Series that I've been known to quote is Hitchhiker's Guide from the Guide to the Universe. So
sci-fi, I love it.
Yes.
Awesome. Next question, Alekate. Dudette. Yo, what's up with the gamer tag?
Okay, short version is it's a messed up spelling of Alekate.
Was that intentional? Or did you go back and go, oh crap?
No, it was intentional.
Okay.
So longer story with that is I played Warcraft.
Right.
And in Warcraft, when you play, you have to select what realm you're going to be on. And inside that realm, every name is unique. So if your character's name is Bob, you are the only Bob on that.
Nice.
On that realm for both factions, however many people there are. Now, where that gets to be a problem is that you can have up to 10 characters on that realm, and each of those characters has a unique name. So, as you can imagine, normal spelling of names get taken pretty quick. So the more established a server is, the more people that are on it, the harder it is to create a new character because trying to get the spelling of the name you want. And I decided that I was going to name one of my characters Alekate one time. And so I'm sitting there on the character creator going through. It's like, okay, so that spelling's taken. Let's trade out the C for a K. Nope, still taken. Let's drop an L. Still taken. Let's, and just round and round until, I actually found a backwards spelling that worked, that was accepted.
Nice.
And that character that I was creating on a whim, just because I wanted to try out this class, ended up becoming my main in the game, ended up becoming the name that, I was known by, by my friends. I mean, they knew I had, 20 other characters, and they knew what those names were, but I was Alekate. That's who they knew me as. And so it just, as a gamer tag, it stuck.
What's ironic is your name isn't Kate. I love it. That's cool.
Well, see, yeah.
No. Go ahead.
I'm going to say, if you actually break it apart, you end up with my kids' names.
Oh, I love it. As an inside meaning. I love symbolism. It's awesome.
So.
Do you have a motto or mantra that you live by?
Golden rule.
Love it. I think most Gen Xers are that's how we were raised, right? Golden rule. Treat people how you'd want to be treated.
Yeah.
I believe it more than
don't be a dick.
Raised that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the internet is anonymous. So people come on, and because nobody can see their name or see their face, nobody knows who they are, they come online and they can be just complete and total assholes, and then go back to their day-to-day life
like nothing happened,
with nothing. And it's, I don't understand that. How you can have two completely different personalities. It's that whole thing. It's be yourself, be genuine, because these people you're running into in the game, maybe you do see them in day-to-day life. Maybe you are going to run into them. Maybe you're going to make a friend. You're going to want to meet them. And then once you get into the real world, how do you go and mesh those two different personalities if you're not already the same?
Yep.
So, golden rule, be a decent person.
When people are that way, whether it's comments on my YouTube channel or whatever, I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? Where are you broken? That's once I have that mentality, then I almost pity them. I'm not mad or offensive. I don't get offensive, or I don't, I don't have offense if they say something. I just think, why would they say something like that? Anyway. Last question. And then I think Kingsley has one more for you before we go. What is one thing about you that our community may not know about you? It could be anything, even a little habit, or I'll leave it at that.
That I don't know. I really don't know if there's something that people don't know. Because I'm pretty much, if somebody wants to know something they're going to ask, I'm willing to tell them. So, Yes, I have cats. I love dogs. I don't own any currently. My home isn't set up for dogs.
Right.
It would actually be a disservice for me to have a dog in the home.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what you can handle. We have 3 dogs and a cat, and it was actually a disservice for the cat. I grew up with cats, and we luckily found a great friend to rehome it because we weren't gonna just, give it away to the shelter or anything. And the cat is just thriving. For whatever reason, the dogs and the cat fought way more than we thought they would. And so you got to do with what's best.
I had 2 dogs and a cat, and it was my only pet cat because my mom and dad never let us have cats. Dogs, no problem. It was my first cat and my only cat. He lived 20 years. He was a gray tabby, and he didn't even have claws, but he was not afraid of our 2 other dogs, and he would not take crap from anybody. And those dogs, he was the boss. It was awesome to see. You'd see these big dopey dogs wandering around him, and he would lift up his head, and they're like, "Oh, we're out. No sweat. We're gone." Yeah. And I think Kingsley has one more question for you to wrap things up tonight.
I need to know, what is your favorite drink and dessert?
Favorite drink would probably be, iced coffee. I'm almost always drinking iced coffee. Dessert would have to be my grandmother's Dutch apple pie.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I just got that tin of, every year my wife says no. And I was like, you know what? I was at Costco. I was at Sam's tonight. I says, I'm getting those damn Christmas cookies, the ones in the tin.
Oh, the butter cookies.
Yeah. You just go through them through the whole month. You just kind of work your way down and then they're gone. Then you don't want anything to do with cookies ever again. Yeah. Gosh, those are good. Well, Alekate, sorry, I told you I'd do it. Thank you for sharing your life with us tonight. That was an awesome interview. Thank you.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Well, we're not done yet. I don't know if anybody told you, but we have something called the speed run. And
I've heard about this.
Yeah. I made a custom list just for you, and we'll do that when we come back. Hang tight.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
All right, boys and girls, this segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of over 800 possible questions for our guest. And Alekate here will have 2 minutes to answer as many as she can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers. And at the end of the year, the guest with the most answer will win a prize and title of 2024 Speedrun Champion. The questions are custom curated by me, so no one can memorize the order and just quickly answer what comes to mind. Tonight, I'm going to read out the questions from my list, and my phone here will help me with the timer. Deadpool 1 Merc and Sweaty Spooks are co-leaders with 50 questions answered in 2 minutes. So what do you think, Alekate? You ready to do this?
Why not?
You got nothing to lose. Just have fun with it. I will ask the questions as fast as you answer them. So here we go. Counting down. 3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Warlock.
Favorite Destiny 2 weapon?
Gnawing hunger.
Void, Solar, Arc, Stasis, or Strand?
Strand.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Ooh, in the mountains.
Walmart or Target?
Walmart.
Controller or mouse and keyboard?
Mouse and keyboard.
Sidearm, shotgun, or fusion rifle?
Sidearm.
Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit?
Gambit.
Are you an AMC Stubbs member?
Yes.
Quest or RNG? Hold on a second. I got to pause. You seriously? Are you seriously a member?
Yeah.
You said Stubbs, though. You didn't say A-list. There is
No, it's okay. They're a Stubbs member. They're on board. Okay, I paused the timer. We'll continue. That's amazing. That's the first question someone's answered yes on. I'm sorry, it caught me by surprise.
I thought I answered yes. I'm a Stubbs member too.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't answer it. No, not the.
All right.
I don't know. I don't remember. You've been on so many times, Kings, I can't remember. Okay, here we go. Continuing on. Quest or RNG?
Quest.
If you could choose, who would voice your ghost?
Nathan Fillion.
Twab or Twid?
Twab.
Human, Awoken, or Exo?
Awoken.
Do you believe in ghost?
Yes.
Is Scumdeath your uncle?
Sure.
What's your favorite Destiny planet?
Oh, Mars.
Pineapple on pizza?
Sometimes.
Would you rather be invisible or fly for a day?
Invisible.
What's your favorite armor or weapon mod? You just throw one out.
I just blanked out. Can't remember.
It's all right. What's the best sandwich?
Club.
What armor slot do you use as an exotic?
Arms.
Kinetic Tremors, Lone Wolf, or Headseeker?
Tremors.
Ikora, Cade, or Zavala?
Cade.
TV or monitor?
Monitor.
What number am I thinking of?
31.
It's 7. What one thing annoys you most? Other than questions.
People who are fake.
Describe yourself in one word.
Boring.
Does Destiny 2 seasonal events, yes or no?
Yes.
What's one thing you own that needs to be thrown out?
Shoes.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Nursing aid.
Favorite salty snack?
Crackers.
Do you have a tattoo?
Yes.
I'll give you a few more here because I definitely botched that. Apple or Android?
Android.
Solo or fire team?
Fire team.
Gas, electric, or diesel?
Gas.
Can you drive a stick shift?
Yes.
Favorite music genre?
Rock.
Nice. Very good. I'm going to give you a 38 on that. Nice job. Very nice. All right, Deadpool, you're safe for now.
A few times.
It's all right. Some of those questions will throw you off. But yeah, just for the record, I've asked that question of everybody. So it's not like I threw you these are all permanent questions that I ask every week. I just throw in the little fillers in there. That
He even threw you off with one of those questions, Gatr.
Yeah, I did. That's easy to. Hey, that's not saying much, Kingsley. But well, thanks. Thanks
for blanked out on what they were.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just we're having fun. Appreciate you. Appreciate you jumping in. That was a lot of fun. Well, I have a great question for all of you out there. Do you have a great question for our speedrun segment? If that's a yes, join our Discord and enter them in our speedrun question ideas channel. We have a few weeks left. We'll add them to next year's speedrun. Just remember they need to be yes or no, 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. And don't forget, what's your favorite? That's the one open-ended question I always love. At the end of the year, we're going to have 2 drawings for a $25 gift card of your choice. And you can enter up to 5 questions to go into the drawing. So we have 3 weeks left, 4 weeks left, maybe 3 weeks. Let's just call it 3 weeks. So let's see what you got. Good luck.
OMG, it's Brittany, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast.
Okay, before we move on to This Week in Destiny, let's talk about what we've been doing this week, whether it could be entertainment, it could be what you've been gaming, what you've been playing in Destiny. The floor is open. So I'll start with you, Alekate. What have you been doing this week?
Well, this week, I say I've been spending some time with my son. Earlier, we went and we watched Venom, one of his favorite movies, first time watch for me. And every time I glanced over, he was sitting there watching me, waiting to see my reaction to something that was going to happen.
Is this the Last Dance? Is this the Last Dance, the latest one?
No, this is actually the first one.
Oh.
I haven't watched any of the series, and like I say, he's really big on it, so he's been pushing me to go and actually watch these with him.
Nice.
And this week I caved, and we do a movie night 1 day a week, and that was his choice, and we watched it.
Very good. Yeah, I like it. It's a pretty good show. Pretty good movie series. Yeah. What else? What else you been doing?
Let's see. Other things, the typical work, and then I stepped into Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time.
What do you think of that?
So,
What do you think of that game?
I think they spent a lot of time in the character creation, or at least I did. Just a lot of options. The graphics look sharp, and I'm really kind of looking forward to getting in and seeing more of the storyline with it. I'm not very far into it, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far.
It's on my list. It's on my backlog. It's probably going to be ways away because I just picked up Madden 25, so I'll probably be playing that for a while. But anything else you've been playing or watching?
I say other games I've been playing. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Nice.
I keep trying to sneak over there and finish off that campaign, and of course Destiny. Been raiding, so. Just
We did a
fun.
raid this last week.
Yeah.
Nice. So, did you do an Edge of Salvation or?
No. We did Vow of the Disciple last night. Took Maximo through for his first time through. Or actually, that was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How did he do? Did he do symbols okay?
Yeah, he was actually picking up on everything pretty quick. And
Very nice.
I say it was, struggled at the third encounter, but every group does when you have new, people that don't know it quite so well. And, but we got through it, and I'm pretty sure we're going to take him through it again because at least I'm hoping he had fun. I had fun in there with him. So
were you able to get a completion?
Yes.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, he's hooked. That's one of my favorite raids, just because it requires the most thinking for me, at least, because it's symbols and remembering what they mean. And I think one of them that you call hands, I call feet. I don't know. It was a feet thing back then, I guess, but it just looks like feet to me, like pig's feet. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway.
Well, it's that raid's great because even if you don't know the exact name for the symbols, you describe them, and people know what you're talking about.
It's a great thing, isn't it?
So you can have crazy names for them and get through it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love that raid. That's so much fun. It's probably one of the raids I have all the weapons crafted. I got everything in that raid, almost everything. But it is a fun raid. Yeah. Anything else?
That's pretty much what I've been up to.
Okay, no, I'm not pushing you. I'm just making sure you get your full 2 cents in. Gotcha. What about you, Kingsley? What have you been doing this week, man?
Yeah. Had a lot of fun in that raid too. Always love raiding with McMaximo and Alekate and others. And Vow is one of my favorite raids. I have not run it a lot recently, and then we've done that a couple times recently, so it's fun to get back into it. And that was always one that I liked Sherping. So trying to get back into it, and then even remembering things, like I used to have a really good way to explain the third encounter, but again, I'm just kind of like lying back these days and not trying to do as much. Of course, I still love to pop in little comments from time to time, but I always enjoy that raid because it feels interactive. You always feel like you're doing something. There's less positions that are just ad control. And I always like to joke around too, like some raids, ad control is not as easy as people think it is. There's actually positions that can be easier than ad control. Yeah. If you can handle 2 or 3 simple instructions, you actually may have less ads to worry about if you're doing the mechanics versus ad control. So sometimes when I see people dying a lot doing ad control, I'm like, see, ad control isn't always the easiest. But it's a fun raid. That's really all I've done in Destiny this week. Gaming, I have preloaded Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. That game is out on early release as of right now. I'm getting it through Games Pass because I don't want to have to pay for it if I don't
December
have to.
December 8th, I think, right?
The 9th. Well, midnight 9th GMT time, but it'll be Sunday, like 5 p.m. my time. I'll be able to hop into it.
Nice. I can't wait to hear what you think of it next week.
Yeah. Again, really good reviews from everything. It's really going to focus on exploration and stealth. So I think it'll be really up my alley. Not that I don't enjoy shooting or things like that, but this will just be a great exploration type game and something to kind of hold me over for a while until, next year, more new stuff coming out.
Right.
I saw Heretic again with a friend today. It was my second viewing and my friend's first viewing, and got even more from the movie, but we don't need to talk about it again. We've talked about it plenty.
I'm going to kind of mention it tonight later.
Okay.
Kind of.
I mean, I learned so much more. Every little thing in that movie is purposely done, even just little nuances of how they make their facial expressions or how he picks up things or sets things down. You can really notice it more the second time. Yeah. And I can't spoil the ending still, but I will tell you, and I'll DM you afterwards. Yeah. I have a stronger opinion now how I think the ending played, even though, it can go 2 or 3 ways and it's open to interpretation, but it just seems more right to me now how I think the ending is.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear it.
And then
we had a good conversation about that part last time.
Yeah. Going to see Wicked tomorrow morning, so I'm looking forward to that. I finished the TV series that I was recommending, A Man on the Inside. Have you gotten through any more of that?
I've gotten through episode. I think I'm on episode 5 or 6 now. I binged like 3 episodes in a row because they're like 30 minutes, right? I think.
Yeah, they're not too bad. And there's only about 8 total, I believe.
When you talked about it last week about how people feel lonely, man, that really hit home for me when I watched it because I have family members who live alone now, and I can kind of understand it a little bit, but yeah, it's a great show, man. Very wholesome show, very entertaining, very funny. Yeah, he does a great job in that too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, because this isn't spoiling anything, you can see this from a million miles away, but by the time you get to the second to the last episode and through a lot of the last episode, you're like, I don't want this to end, and you're kind of like feeling emotional and tearing yourself, and you're like, it's kind of sad and everything, but they try to up it a little bit at the very, very end. But it's such a great show. Like, they might make a second season. They haven't confirmed anything, but they left it open-ended where they can.
Nice. And
I sure the hell hope they do. It's such a good show.
Yeah, I love Ted Danson. Everything he's in is always funny. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm going to continue to watch it. Yeah, I'm going to finish it out. How many episodes are there? Is it 10?
8, I believe.
Okay, so I got 3 more to go.
So it won't take too long to get through.
Okay, I'll probably watch this tonight before I go to bed then. All right.
And then went to a fun company Christmas party last night.
Okay.
My wife has a job where she works for a luxury real estate company doing graphic design, and so they put on good parties. Went up to the University of Utah Stadium in like the bougie box clubhouse area, and they had like open bar and appetizers and everything like that. So that was really fun. It's always cool because like we joke, but like if it was just up to me, since I run my own business, my company party would be like, hey, let's go watch a movie. That's our company party.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
But especially since I don't have employees. But it's nice being able to get the health insurance and the good company parties through the other side. But I had a lot of fun with that. I mean, I've been a little more of I typically don't like the holidays. December, I always want to go quickly. I'm much happier once Jan 1 hits. For various reasons, how things happened in my life growing up as a kid, but also weather. And I fully understand January, February is just as cold during the winter where I live. But for some reason, I feel like when it's a new year, we're past Christmas, even though it's still the dead of winter, I feel like it can be leading towards the upswing of getting better. Whatever the reason, it's a new year. I always feel better when Jan 1 hits versus December. So I'm ready for it to be over with. But it's been going fast enough already. Boy, we're already on the 6th today. So.
I think the reason why is Thanksgiving was late this year. It was right on my wedding anniversary on the 28th. So it was like, it was like Thanksgiving and boom, Christmas. I mean, we're already in December, like 2 days later, 3 days later. So maybe it's because I think last year it was on like the 22nd or something. It was a week before. I don't know. But
regardless, I'm happy enough that it's even December 6th already. So I feel like December will go fast enough for me too.
Yeah.
Also, like, it's so funny because it's like the way I do my work with different customers is if any companies are even flirting with the idea of like working less, I will get into that mentality too. Because I work with offices. You know, you do stuff out and about with people, but I don't really work with home users as much. I work with a lot of offices. And, you know, so like during Thanksgiving, I easily took Wednesday through like Monday-ish off because nothing was going on. Yeah. And, you know, I got to be available for emergencies. But like what I'm saying is like in December, I'm already feeling like everyone else kind of like, we don't want to work as hard. And they're not putting new projects on my plate because they don't want to have something to worry about. So December's kind of like just skeleton mode, like work on emergencies only. And then January, it'll kick into gear again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's funny. I'll say, honey, people don't want me messing with their yard on Thanksgiving. They got family over and stuff. And I'll start telling myself, yeah, you probably don't need to work today. You know, you're going to walk on a lawn when there's people out there setting up for the picnic or whatever for an outdoor. Most of our Thanksgiving are outdoors because the weather's so nice this time of year. But yeah, I'm the same way, man. I'm like, you know, when most people take their breaks is when I try to take my breaks. And I look like a heel if I send my guys out there on a middle of a holiday. So it's an image thing, you know. There's a little guilt trip too. So yeah, I get that, man.
Yeah. But that's about it. What about you?
Well, I got to mention, I put one of my I try to do weekly Crucible vids where I just kind of talk through my gameplay, and I put out a Crucible vid last week called "I Got Wrecked in the Crucible," and I put out a comp game where I just was terrible, but what I did is I broke it down and went through segment by segment or encounter by encounter and why I failed so badly, and it's funny that it didn't blow up, but I got more views than usual on that video. Probably because people are like, oh, I want to see this guy get destroyed. And I'm popping on the computer this morning, and I got 30 comments on that video, and I'm like, oh, crap. Here we go. Dude, you suck. What do they go? What do they go? Skill issue, blah, 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 whatever they're going to say. And I'm fine. I've heard it all before. And I got to tell you, man, my faith was restored in the Destiny 2 Crucible community. I had so many people reaching out. Some people saying, I love what you're doing here, man. I love that you talk through these games because I have this same issue and I'm trying to figure out how to get better at that part. And that's the reason I do the video. But I had people that were really high level players that play trials and play comp at high levels. And hell, a couple guys even mentioned, hey, this is my gamer tag and my Bungie number. Send me a friend request and I'll jump in with you. I'll run some with you and I'll point out some stuff for you too. I was blown away with all the awesome comments I got from that video. So that gives me a little gas in the tank. Next week, I'm going to release a Crucible video on using double primaries playing Iron Banner. Just a quick 5-minute video, probably just explaining how I was having so much luck with this certain build I had put together. But I did play a lot of Iron Banner. I played it solo. I played it with a community. I must say, Kingsley, I don't know if you want to mention this, but I love this new OWL activity bot that you set up. It was so incredibly easy to do.
Thanks for reminding.
Yeah. I set the game up. People joined throughout the day. It actually breaks down a little, that no one else can see, your own little, like post or thread where you can talk amongst yourselves. Like, hey, what are you going to bring? I'm going to do this. And, you know, a couple of people dropped out last time. Soccer. I won't hold that against you, buddy. We'll get one of these games together one of these days. It was late. It was late. I joined
and dropped out too.
I know. I saw you.
Console only.
I saw you. I know. I wish you'd jump in and just have fun one night, but it's never hardcore. We're always just BSing.
I will if you allow PC players.
Oh yeah, it was console only.
He's afraid of the PC lobby.
It's not. You know what it is I find more cheaters on PC than I do on console. Now, don't
ignore them. Just have fun.
Don't get me wrong. I was playing some late night. I just picked up a few games last night on I think it was console, and we had people using Zims. You could tell. This one guy slid and killed 3 of us with that one sniper rifle that just blows everybody up if you get headshots on him. But he did it. You know, you think, oh, that was a great shot, man. But then when he does it 2 more times in the same game, then you start going, okay. You know, it's a good shot.
Or don't assume it at all and just have fun.
I know. You're right, man. I just am very passionate when I play Crucible. And it's why I put the videos out, because I love talking about it. And there's probably a lot of people who are like, no, Crucible pass. But there's some out there that like to hear it. And but yeah, man, how has the bot been doing this week?
Really well. I'm glad, because not that I was super worried or anything, because I did a lot of research, but at the same time, in case people would just complain or didn't like it or something, but we're pushing forward either way, and luckily we've had really good reception on it. Again, because a lot of the things that we couldn't do with 100 bot, you know, there's some things where it's less, but there's a lot of things where it's more. And I love how it keeps the channel clean. It'll delete the event afterwards. People can just join with a thumbs up. Very easy. They can also join on the website, which will redirect. It seems like a really good system. I mean, it's the best of the other systems that are out there right now, as you know, from you doing a lot of research. And you even put a poll, and a lot of people said they're willing to use it. So that's good news.
I don't think there's one person who said maybe. Everyone said, yeah, absolutely, we're going to use this.
Yeah. And if you don't want to use it, that's fine. You can do the LFG thing still.
You got the LFG channel.
But give it a try. Again, the only thing I want to remind is that it does not add you automatically if you create the listing. So be sure to add yourself. And that makes sense, because since it's in Discord, you have to join it, and then it puts you in the thread also.
Yeah.
So that'll catch some people off guard, I think, for a little bit. But also, we have the ability as admins, you and me, to for the bot admins to, if we have to, add someone in or delete something or delete a crazy posting. But everything's been very smooth sailing so far. And
we did find out one thing, or I learned one thing this week, that the little thread where you can talk to your teammates, it will automatically delete itself after 24 hours has passed since the last person talked in that.
Yes.
Because I think I went in and says, hey, great games last night, guys. And it extended the time for another 24 hours.
From that, yes.
So you got to remember.
And that's just how Discord works.
Yeah, and that's fine.
If anyone talks at all, which you can if you want to keep the conversation going.
Absolutely.
But and you can always leave it too if you want it to go away sooner. But if no one talks at all for 24 hours, it'll auto.
Yep. It's a great bot. And it's real simple. You want to join, you click the check mark. If you're a maybe, you click the maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you don't click it at all if you don't want to play. So it's real simple. I love the new bot. I think it's more streamlined. I really like it. So I just want to mention that because I did try. I did that post where we played that night in Iron Banner and had good turnout. Everyone turned out. It was really a lot of fun. So let's see. I got I mentioned I got my Super Black shader from the Festival of the Lost event, which right now I'm throwing it on everything. I love it. It's just such a great shader. I got all of my Iron Banner sets for my Warlock, Titan, and Hunter. And it wasn't too difficult to do when you when you have a bunch of Iron Banner Ingrams, just start caching them. You don't have to focus them, just caching them. And they try to fill the gaps for you. At least they did for me. Within, you get a weapon and then you get the mark, and then you get a weapon, maybe another weapon, and then you get the arms. It's like they want you to get that armor, and then you can focus it after that if you want to do that. So, but yeah, I've had really good times. Probably better time playing solo because I got more evenly matched games, and most games went to time. Where some of the groups I played with, we get mercied a few times, or we would mercy a team. This was just very up and down, which that's the Iron Banner, man. Let's see. I'm going to finish out my second prestige for Lord Saladin because I want to get that new shader. Just goes to my point, Bungie. If you put shaders and extend the season pass, people will play to get them. And we're going to mention something down the road in the TWAB here tonight. I've been playing Balatro. I played on my phone and my PC, and even though it's not cross-play, I love this damn game, man. It's got me. So,
a couple things.
Yeah,
I started playing that game too.
Did you try it?
I'm just on the phone.
Oh. And
I'm not a huge card game, but so I had to keep looking up the rules for poker game because I keep forgetting like what's better, four of a kind or a full house. You know what I mean? So I had to keep looking at the rules, but I could see why people like this game. It had me interested for a while, and then like two rounds in, I didn't get the boss thing done, and then I was like, okay, I'm done for now. But I wasn't frustrated, but I was just like, I'll come back to it. But I don't know how much I'll play it, but I do have to admit it's kind of fun.
I love it.
And I do want to say one other thing real quick, and then I'll let you continue.
No,
I forgot because I did actually hop into some Iron Banner.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was playing actually with Alekate and Cloud and I think Zebrak, and I forget everyone who was there. And I did about 4 matches.
What day is it?
Even though we had PC lobbies, I know, right?
Mark the date, everybody.
But look, I mean, I'm just glad, as always, like, Cloud always likes to talk, but like, I think usually I do better than her, but
Cloud's just there for the chaos.
No, I know. We love her. But I would say, like, didn't we win more? I don't know. You probably played more than I did, but okay. But like, didn't we win at least more than 50% of them? I felt like it was pretty
seemed like it.
That was on PC.
So it wasn't bad on PC lobbies when we were there, and
as I say, they had some PC players there, so they were drug in, and we did pretty well. Unless I had some fun, good laughs.
I just had to mention. Sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I just had to mention I did some Iron Banner.
I love it because I was going to ask you guys if you guys have been playing this week. So, yeah, I just love Balatro. It's such a perfect game for me because I can start it, and if I'm out of time, it's bedtime. I can quit, and it'll be there waiting for me on the next level, wherever I left off. It's a great pick up and set down game. It's not like Destiny where everything's live when you got to get to a certain point and then just log off for the night. But it's very convenient. A fun little game just to sit down. I'll do it sometimes when I'm watching a show that's halfway decent and just play Balatro into the night and get it all done. So if you haven't tried that game, it is up for Game of the Year, by the way. One person developed this game. So imagine what, I don't know, 400 people could do? Interesting. And it is like an old fashioned, like the old, was it CRT monitors? Has that kind of look, where you have like the lines running through the screen.
Well, I would say it looks like 8-bit graphics.
Yeah, it's very much 8-bit. Yeah. I mean, it's more basic graphics. So yes, I understand that. I mean, but it's such a, I don't know how he thought of this game, but it's so much fun. Anyway, I'll get off that. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be playing a lot of The Dawning coming up hardcore because I only have 2 weeks to play it because after Christmas I'm out of here. I'm taking the week off. And I'm really looking forward to baking some cookies. And I'll mention in the TWAB here why. Entertainment wise, I saw the 3rd episode of the Dune Prophecy. Did you see this week's, Kingsley?
I haven't. Still, I haven't even seen the 2nd, but I'll get to that.
I'll just tell you, this week's was more of a, how they go back in time and give you backgrounds of each of the characters. They did that this time. So it's very good. Man, it's such a great show. Yeah, it's a great show. I also ran I skipped Silo this week. I didn't have time. I skipped it this week, and I'll be honest, the story is really dragging for me. So I'll let you know next week if it gets any better. I think I'm on the 4th episode now. I'm looking forward to this new gaming-based show coming on Prime Video called Secret Level. Have you guys been hearing about this? It's a video game series. I don't know if it's anime or what, but it's animated of some sort. But there's a new game coming out this weekend, maybe tonight, on Prime Video. Check it out. It's called The Secret Level. And I don't know. I'm just curious to see what that's about.
So it's an actual game or it's a show based on a game?
It's a show. It's a show based on all the games, all the game genres. Yeah. It looked really good. The previews look really, really cool, really strong, really highly detailed, animation, kind of like Arcane. I got Arcane vibes a little bit. Yes. So I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of Prime Video, I watched the Lions-Packers game last night. Man, that was a great game. I don't think anybody's, what's really weird is the Lions 2 years ago had the worst record in football. Same coach, just they were done. They were embarrassing. 2 years later, they're probably one of the best teams in the NFL right now. They're definitely going to be a contender in the playoffs. But they won by a field goal last night. It was a great game. I'm going to see Gladiator 2 on Sunday. My parents wanted to see it, so I'm going to head up there to where they live, and we're going to go see that. Wicked is in the cards, Kingsley. I'm going to go see it probably the next week after. I'm hopefully waiting for it to return to the Dolby Theater. Moana 2 can get the F out of here. I'm ready to, hopefully there's something that won't take its spot. My wife and I saw the latest holiday movie, Red One, starring The Rock, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, and of course, J.K. Simmons as the Santa Claus. And it started a little slow, but in the end, it's what you expect from a holiday movie. It's a very simple story. It had a little twist that I didn't expect, which made it interesting. I might have had something in my eye at the end of the movie. I don't know. I think I had some dust or something in it, but overall, it was a wholesome and funny, friendly Christmas movie. And there were some kids, probably 9 or 10-year-olds in the front row that were watching it. I think it was safe for kids. And I got exactly what I wanted from it. It was a good feeling at the end. And everyone acted well in it. I thought it was really good. I can't give it too high a score, but the critics had it at 30%, which kind of I was a little worried at first, but the audience loves it. It was at 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I got to do the same thing. 3.5 stars. It's a good movie. Go watch it with your family this holiday. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'm going to go see, I think A Real Pain, Kieran Culkin, Jesse Eisenberg. It's still out. I think my wife wants to go see that. We're going to try to catch that before it falls off. And I'm hoping Heretic will be on HBO. I have a feeling it's going to be something like HBO when it comes out on streaming.
A24s a lot of time go to Amazon, but it could be Max.
Depends who decides to buy it. Yeah. Well, that's it for me. So let's check and see what Bungie is talking about in This Week in Destiny. But first, seriously, I need to take my mandatory bathroom break. Be right back. Hey listeners, I just wanted to take a minute to thank our sponsors and advertisers. Thanks to our Patreon community, we don't need to worry about that. So enjoy continued ad-free listening, and if you're thinking about giving back to a listener-supported podcast like this one, check out GuardianDownCast.com and hit that Patreon button to find out more. Later, Guardian. This week in Destiny for December 5th, 2024. It's all about the dawning pretty much this week, guys. There's a lot of stuff they talk about here. The dawning process is still going to be the same. It's going to be about baking cookies, doing all that stuff that you normally have done every year. If you've never done the dawning before, I'm watching. If you've never done the dawning before, you will go to of course Space Grandma in the middle of the tower. She'll give you a little stove that you access via your inventory, by the way. That stove is where you will make your cookies, and those cookies you'll bring to one of the NPCs in the world. It could be any of the planets as well. And
I want to make pizza this year in her stove.
Yeah,
come on, let us.
No, I don't think you'll make pizzas. No,
but it's a nice little oven.
That would be awesome.
That would be a perfect pizza oven.
That would actually be awesome to do. But what you do when you a lot of times, about every few cookies that you give to these NPCs, they'll give you a gift in return, which is, remember that word, a gift in return. So they pretty much, there is an event card, and what was nice about it is you could upgrade the card to earn stuff faster this time. So that was one thing I noticed was a little different, that you could update the card, upgrade the card. But this is some of the rewards. You've got a wrap sparrow here, the new armor I want to talk about. Got some cool ghost projections, little emotes and stuff. A pretty cool looking ghost, and then of course a new shader, which is going to be coming as well. But as a new addition to the Dawning, this year we have hidden 3 new and exclusive emblems inside a gift of return package. Remember I told you about the gift of return? They are very cool, but also very rare. But don't worry, Eva loves us so much, and the festive spirit is so strong that she has found a solution. A community event that increases everyone's chance of getting them. It's the Dawning Bake Off. I can see Kingsley rolling his eyes already. During the Dawning, baking a certain set of cookies starting on a given week will give you progress towards a community-wide goal, a significant drop rate increase for all 3 emblems at the same time, by the way. Here's a list of the cookies. The first week, Galler Doodles for Zavala, Bright Dusted Snowballs for Tess Everest, Stalwart Thins for Elsie Bray, and there's a new cookie called the Neomoon Cake for Nimbus. Remember that guy? Silver Surfer? Yeah. You're going to have to go to there to give it to him. The second week will be Traveler Donuts for Holes for Ikora, Classic Butter Cookies for Eva Levante, Dark Chocolate Motes for the Drifter. Those are all, they've been here before. Third week will be Vanilla Blades for Shax, Lavender Ribbon Cookies for St. 14, and Etheric Cold Snaps for Varix, which that's on the Beyond Light planet. If we bake enough of them, we will sooner than later reach the threshold, significantly increase the drop rate chances, and earn the emblems. All 3 drop on every week of the event, so don't worry if you're out during one of the weeks, which I will be. Oh, and what do these emblems look like? Here you go. The Confectionery Commander has Zavala's face on it. Then you have the Epicurean Extraordinaire. That's Ikora's face. That's the one I'm going to be looking to get. And then for Priceless, the Handcrafter Hunter, which is Crow's face on it. And I do like the color scheme on that. So, yeah, we'll see.
I have a question on that one, though.
What do you think?
So you got the 3 emblems. They have each of the vanguards on it.
Mm-hmm.
Week 1, they want us to go and give Zavala diabetes. Week 2, we're going all out for Ikora.
Yep.
But at no point are we giving cookies, or are we focusing cookies to...
Crow?
Yeah.
I did notice that. It's not in the...
And if you think about it, where's Crow going to be to even receive cookies this year? Because hasn't he typically been in the helm?
Yeah, I don't think
and
he's there
not
anymore.
there.
That's probably why.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean that's probably why. I just find that funny.
Yeah.
Good point. That's pretty cool. I got to admit, I love these emblems. I love my emblems. It's going to be really cool. A new weapon's coming. It's a void linear fusion rifle. Like, we definitely need one of those, right? We don't have enough void linear fusion rifles out there. I'm a little disappointed in the weapon. I really wish they would come out with something a little bit neater, but there you go. I'm sure it'll have all kinds of cool rolls and all kinds of cool, probably some really strong PvE stuff. Yeah.
Envious Arsenal and Bait and Switch.
Yeah, there you go. That's one that everyone's been wanting to get with that grenade launcher, right? That we weren't getting drops for, and they just gave it to us. Yeah. But here's the thing, man. The Dawning will also see an arrival of a new Astral Stasis Drake set. Putting one of these on will see you transformed into a magical dragon that doesn't resemble Ahamkara, but the more noble creatures from those of old human fantasies books Ido is obsessed with. Maybe they will come in handy when delivering cookies. They have wings, and after all, the Astral Stasis Drake sets will be available and at the end game Eververse store for the duration of the event. Probably what they're going to do here is you can spend your 6,000 bright dust, or you can probably pay 1,500 silver, I'm guessing. But man,
Yeah,
look
I think
at
it would
these.
be better if they put the pieces into the gifts in return. They'd have more people going for the cookies.
Absolutely. Look at these sets, though. I mean, I'm not biased here, but that warlock looks badass. That's a badass looking warlock, and it's got claws for feet. I mean, oh my god, that's so cool. I mean, even the Titan and Hunter look really good. I'm gonna get all three. I'll be farming my bright dust bounties. I guarantee I'll be jumping all over this. So, man, what do you guys think? Those look really good. Are you going to go for those, Kingsley?
Oh, definitely.
What about you, Kingslly?
Just to answer that question fairly, I'm taking out of my mind that I don't love this event anyways, but even
They're going to get
the
you off
armor doesn't do it for me so much.
No?
It's just not my style as much. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I just like shiny. I like shiny stuff. I like stuff that has spikes. Yeah, man, that helmet on that. I'll be wearing this in Crucible.
And to be fair, too, I think the Titan one looks the best. Just being fair about it, in my opinion.
Because the wings aren't as floppy as maybe the... Yeah.
No, that's not why.
No?
But I just think just the build and the shape and everything of it. But
they all look good.
The floppy wings don't bother me on the other one, but I'm just... Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but just visually to me, I think the Titan one looks the best.
What do you think, chat? You guys going to work for this stuff? Does this stuff look good to you? I'm just curious. Anyway, let me know in the chat. I was excited. This had me excited. I'm gonna work for these. I'm gonna work for these. This is something. This is a worthy reward for the Dawning. I already love the Dawning as it is, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that. So are you ready to put your best apron to bake metric tons of cookies for everyone around, and of course get new rewards while working as a community to reach the common goal? Of course you are, except Kingsley.
I'm not the only one that doesn't care.
I know, man. I know. You're just the target tonight. Sorry, man.
Yes, that's fine.
I know you. I know this isn't quite your thing, but I love it.
And I don't even like the Halloween one, but I'd rather the Halloween one than Dawning. Dawning's probably like my least favorite because there's no activity with it.
There isn't.
You just baking cookies, yay!
Yeah. And believe me,
stuff to get materials.
It'll be all about getting those essences. I guarantee you. There's always a loop. There's always a what is it? There's always a point somewhere. What's the word am I thinking of? Like
place to farm.
Yeah, there's always a bottleneck. That's what I was trying to say. There's always a bottleneck where you'll have tons of materials from doing whatever, and you won't have enough essences to get it done. That's the problem I've always had in the past. They have a Levante prize coming back. As it's a special time in the tower, how about we celebrate together with another fashion contest? We're giving away 2 fashion emblems this time. The first is quite rare. Felis Galaxius. Next, those of you who have been around a while might remember one of our very first fashion emblems with honors, none other than our favorite grandma in the whole universe. That's right. We are giving the Levante prize, and it's one of the reasons this fashion contest has some extra rules. There's the emblems right there, and let's see what the extra rules are. We have 3 very fitting themes you can choose from. Stasis, winter, and desserts. There you go, Kingsley. Desserts. I don't know how are they going to, never mind. They're broad enough to allow everyone to be inventive and think outside the box. We
I'd
also
be surprised. I mean, they have the watermelon head.
I've seen some.
Helmet piece you can
You're
wear,
right.
So
you're right, man. I've seen some stuff.
Come up with.
Yeah. People get very creative with this stuff. You can participate all by yourself or with your friends, but take into consideration that the max number of Guardians per submission must be 3. So basically a regular fire team. We also want your background to be breathtaking. So stick to our 3 themes when choosing a location. It shouldn't be that hard. And last, always share your character customization screen so everyone can use your look if they fancy it. Think about what you want to wear, have friends join, and then when you're ready, share your screenshots with the world using hashtag #DawningFashion and social media platform of your choice, along with your Bungie IDs. We'll need those to grant the emblems, so make sure you put those in there. We will keep a keen eye on your work and showcase the first batch of winners in the 12-12 TWID or TWAB. The remaining picks will be shared on our social media channels.
I like these emblems.
You like these?
Way better than the ones above. I'm not going
to
come up with any creative ideas myself. Yeah, I love the feeless one.
Okay.
But if someone wants to have me as part of their 3-person group and tell me what to wear, I'll participate.
Nice. We've got some creative people in our Discord. I mean, we have a whole channel called Destiny where everyone puts some really cool ornaments together and shaders and combinations thereof, and I'm always blown away. There's always some good stuff in there. Okay, well, good luck, guys. I'm not very creative when it comes to fashion, so I'll probably see what everyone else does on this part. Let's eat some cake and have it too. It wouldn't be dawning without sugary treats. Everyone will be baking like crazy in the game in just a few days, but we would love to see some real world desserts too. So cooks and chefs all around, calling you Danger, let the real world dawning bake off begin. Or actually Mohawk Angel. She works at a bakery. Players that bake dawning cookies or other original desserts, as long as they're inspired by the dawning in Destiny 2, have a chance to earn the amazing photo ionization emblem. Use the hashtag #DawningBaking hashtag on your social platform of choice so the whole world can check your skills, and we have our favorites included in the 12-12 TWID. This will be a 1-week contest, but you'll have plenty of time. It's okay.
I really like this emblem also.
Really?
But I'm certainly not going to be doing any cooking or baking related to Destiny-looking stuff. So I think I'll have to pass on this.
That brings up a good point. Do you guys know what Buckeyes are?
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite treats this time of year. And that's the one thing I will make every holiday season is I'll make Buckeyes. They are so much fun to make, and man, they taste so good. Think of a Reese's cup that's curled up into a ball.
It's Reese's, not Reese's.
Reese's. And
Reese's.
And I chocolate and peanut butter, man, that's my weakness. It's so good together. Let's see. Baron Bingo is back. This is where we have selected streamers that they give away emblems. Let's see, for regions where team captains are let's see, it's back with a festive twist. Join your favorite team captains to help them complete challenges during Act 2, and you can win some prizes and emblems. Team captains from each region will be participating in a competitive cooperative version of Baron Bingo. Read on for more information. I'll leave it to you guys to read this part. I really didn't keep up with the first one, but these are the competitive and cooperative teams. If you're live in the chat, of course you guys know where the TWAB is. And a festive Twitch sub-emblem for those of you that gift a sub to one of your favorite Destiny streamers. You'll get the Tabula Rasa emblem. I think I already have this. I think I got this last time, but they're bringing it back for people who didn't get a chance to get it last time. It's a pretty emblem. I like that one too. I like the background. And they have their next community armor survey. I'm just going to quickly go down these here. They have Biohazard Soldier, Cyber Gladiator, Cybernetic Augmentation, Forest Guardian, Ninja Assassin, Lich King, Demonic Overlord, Retro 80s. That perked my ears up. Hacker Elite. So those are what's in the survey. If you get the survey this week, those are the themes that they're talking about, and they give you descriptions on the right side of the column here. I'll leave it to you guys to look at that part. But as a treat for all your amazing feedback and help, we have a preview of a Sparrow that is coming next year with the Codename Frontiers launches. It's part of a new set that's currently called Beat Drop DJ. And let's say that it's impossible not to dance on the seat when driving it. This does look pretty cool. This is definitely unique. It has subwoofers and speakers in the front. It's got a scratch. What do they call them? Record scratch.
Record player.
Record scratch. Like scratch the records right there. Yeah, and these are probably horns. Back in the back corner here. It looks pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, reminds me of Forsaken, that one lost sector you can go down and start playing in the DJ club. No one remember that? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
said I wish they'd bring that one back.
Yeah, I wish they'd bring Forsaken back. That was I spent so much time on that world. Player support report.
Well, one quick thing I want to mention is super annoying for me and some people, but not that I've been doing master raids lately, but checkpoints for some master raids aren't being saved. That sounds super annoying.
Is it on their list there?
It is. Okay. Down further.
Good, they know.
Obviously we don't read all of them,
right.
But I like to pick and choose a couple that are meaningful to me. And imagine doing a master raid, which is hard enough as it is, and then not, it's very common we wouldn't do it in one night, depending, and to have a checkpoint not save. Ugh. That's
annoying. Definitely.
That's rough.
Yeah, that would make you just not want to play it. That brings another point. Our buddy Mr. Tassie had an article out this week how they're finding out that a lot of the potions and stuff weren't working as intended. And his contention was that we can't even trust the systems in Bungie that they're even going to work. Like this drop rate for this community event, first time ever, I've kind of had my doubts. What if it's broken, where we're not getting an actual increased drop rate chance? I'm curious to see how this plays out. I'm gonna really keep my eyes on this coming up next week, because I'll be baking a ton of cookies and I'm gonna see if those gifted returns, if they start. Yeah. I don't know.
Do we want to get into discussion on that right now or another time?
Maybe something down the road. I just wanted to mention that I
have comments on that overall community sentiment and stuff, but we don't have to talk about it right now.
I have another topic of the week we're going to go out on tonight, so I'll try to keep an eye on the clock here. We're already getting close to time. I had to show this artwork. Look at this. This is from Loopy. Look at this.
This is cool.
This is my kind of stuff right here. I'm very retro 80s, but the beautiful thing I love is the kid's cape with the tricorn on the back kind of glowing.
All of it is amazing.
That is a great, and then the lights down below, like he's on a catwalk there. And it's a very deep.
I might get can you get a print of this or something?
I don't know. Yeah. This may be something that ends up in the store. Yeah. Maybe later on, but wow.
Or maybe I'll go to that Twitter page by the artist and see if they
do commissions, or maybe they sell prints of it. It's beautiful. I'd love to have that hanging somewhere in my office here. Just the combination of color and the young kid looking out at the city, just beautiful. I had to show that. I don't usually show that kind of stuff, but it's really cool. We got some movies of the week. We got some solo GMs that people kick butt at. They documented it. And just like that, our penultimate TWID of the year is over. Yep, you'll see our last one of 2024 next week, and it will be filled with info about what's happening in Destiny 2 until we come back. For now, go get your best apron on, be ready to bake for your closest allies, throw thousands of stasis snowballs at your enemies. By the way, those will be out too in all the activities. As always, play with your friends to get the best loot there is. Anyway, where are my exotic oven mittens? Now, I wonder if there were 2 secret picks this week of bulldogs. I'm just wondering, who could this be? Because Cosmo usually leaves kitty picks, right? Anyway, if you guys never knew this, if you look, there's very hidden little highlighted areas at the end here. Cosmo always did it. I don't know if this is Cosmo or not. Anyway, I don't know if he has bulldogs. anyway, thank you, Destiny 2 community team. We appreciate you touching base with us every week. I realize we got one more TWID left, and I think that'll be just in time for our roundtable episode for the holidays to come around. So that'll be perfect. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. I'm definitely going to be playing the Dawning a lot. Alekate, I think you said you were too. You were all in?
Yeah, let's say I like those armor sets. Yeah, I'm going to be there.
That's going to be it for me. And Kingsley, it's a maybe.
No, I'm a no.
No.
But no shade to anyone that appreciates it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Good deal. All right. Well, we have one final thing of business to do before we go tonight, and we'll do that right when we come back. Hang in there. Hey Guardians, would you like to send a question for the show to us? There are 4 ways to do it. First, you can join our Discord server at discord.gg/GuardianDowncast. There's also a join link in our show notes down below. We have Guardians from all walks of life and all over the world, from new lights to day one players to hardcore gamers. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show. So come hang out with us. You can also email us with your question at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also occasionally post about our upcoming show and guest, and you can respond there with your question at Guardian_D_cast is our X handle. Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your question at guardiandowncast.com, and we might play it on the podcast. Think of it as talking with us right on the show. Thanks for listening, and later, Guardian. All right, before we go, we have one question from our Discord to the show generally, and it has something to do with the Game Awards. And this is from one of our members from across the pond in Germany. This is Dimwee. And grab your popcorn, guys. He says, since I had this topic with a friend recently, does Destiny actually deserve to be nominated for Best Ongoing Game? Destiny's had some great expansions with Forsaken, Witch Queen, and the Final Shape, but even with that said, the post-raid content and the seasonal stuff in Witch Queen was lacking at best, and the relationship between Bungie and its community wasn't exactly great after the second layoff wave in the Final Shape. And even now with episodes, the game isn't exactly at its best within the entirety of Echoes and with the new, in quotes, big activity being Prison of Elders. Looking back on it now, Destiny has had more lows than highs with all of the amazing things you can say for Destiny. You can't immediately say 3 negatives, and making it a nominee for Best Ongoing Game just feels wrong. Instead of Destiny and Diablo, sorry, I'm not changing that. There should have been games that would actually make sense, like the World of Warcraft and Warframe. Now, I know liking a game is subjective, but I personally think Bungie isn't big in any of these things that make a live service good. For communication, the TWAB once a week isn't much comparing to the games like Warframe that have dev shorts, hotfix notes, and prime time, which are all weekly dev streams that come every 3 weeks, or comparing it to Helldivers where you can just talk to devs directly. In content, it has nothing new. In content, it has nothing on WoW or Fortnite, given WoW size, and the fact that Fortnite has its own editor. The only thing I'd say Destiny is one of the best is its spectacle with the raids, dungeons, and stories like Witch Queen. But even their WoW raids and Fortnite live events are close by. Destiny is okay at best when it comes to live service, with the occasional great with expansions, but I personally think it shouldn't be a nominee just because it's been going on for a long time. Surviving a live service doesn't make you good. It's just the bar to entry. And Jimmy Rayner pops in here and says, I object. Hello Games with No Man's Sky should be nominated in winning this. And I just have to say this. No Man's Sky should win this. And they weren't even nominated. If there's one game that is a small studio that started with just a few members and has built its reputation and it keeps improving its game, when this game first came out, I thought it was a joke. I was like, man, this is just like this is like a Planet Discovery game, but it looked terrible. The graphics were terrible. Everything was not that great on it. And I just saw someone on YouTube one day talking about all the changes they've made and the new updated No Man's Sky, and I went and bought the game. It was that good. So I'm curious what you guys think about that opinion from Dimwee. Anyone who wants to chime in?
You want to go first, Alekate, if you have any opinions?
Okay, well, I'm going to chime in on Warcraft because that's the franchise that he mentioned that I'm more familiar with. I don't think that that Warcraft should be put above Destiny on this because all their expansions, they follow the same cycle. You come in, you level, you hit that raid, and storyline's done. And once you're at that point, you're grinding reputation, which is capped as to how much you can get per day. You're grinding for armor, and the only thing you get with better armor is then you can go and do the raid on a harder level. Okay, so now you've got the top tier armor, you've ground all the rep, you're twiddling your thumbs until the next expansion comes out. You've got a community that is known for being toxic to anybody new. And you can't even say their dev studio is the best because, you can kick back and look at everything that Blizzard has done. So I don't believe that Warcraft should rate higher than Destiny. If anything, they're more or less on the same tier. But Warcraft isn't better. They don't have the storyline better than Destiny. They don't. That's a lot of what drove me away from Warcraft is I got tired of the cycle.
Okay. Coming from you, I'll take that as fact because I know you've put a lot of time in Warcraft.
Too much.
I've heard that from a lot of people. What about you, Kingsley? What do you think, man, about that statement?
Okay, yeah, I 100% agree. Destiny shouldn't be up there for best ongoing. I love Destiny still, and I think the Final Shape campaign, that alone should be winning awards, however it can win. I know there's people complaining it shouldn't be a game of the year if it's not a base game, whatever, but all that being said, Final Shape needs to be praised and something won there. But I agree that Destiny isn't really that good. We're just bringing back these same events over and over. I even said last week or the week before, I feel like there should be some minimum bar where they're adding in small things every week to 3 weeks. So I had that idea of just even little fetch quests, things that seem more lively, where like you get some other pop-up in the menus like weekly saying there's this new thing happening. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Every once in a while I'll have a big thing. But there's something more that we're missing to make me think it should be a true great live service game. I played Diablo enough that I would even put Diablo a little above Destiny. Again, not for the expansion part, but for the actual ongoing seasons. They actually do change quite a bit, and weapon stuff is amazing and everything like that. So that's just my quick answer on that. I don't think.
Quick question
Destiny
here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A quick question here in Diablo is.
I don't know that game.
All right, Diablo. Only for you. Do they have it where each season erases all your stuff?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And you don't have to do the seasonal things. They also have what they call an internal realm.
Okay.
But part of that actually adds to the experience of there's a lot more going on and new things that you can try.
New being the keyword. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yep.
I'm probably a little biased here, but I think Bungie and Destiny kind of perfected the live service game. I don't remember many live service games, and of course I'm biased. I came from Call of Duty that kept me. I can't think of any game that's kept me involved for over 10 years now. Even Call of Duty, I was a hardcore Call of Duty player. Well, Kate, while you were playing World of Warcraft, I was playing Call of Duty before I found Destiny. And Call of Duty just did the same thing every. It was just like what Alekate said, prestige. Same group of weapons depending on whatever timeline they're bringing in, and then it was on to next year. It was on to the next timeline with the same 15 to 20 weapons, and some of the maps were very good. I'll give them that. Some of the map design was fantastic, especially the venues where they put them stuff. But when Destiny came around, at first it wasn't a live service game, obviously. It was a story based. You played the game and you went to the tower, but it was I guess it was more of an online game, Destiny 1. But then once they brought the seasons in, which is something I cried about for the longest time, I said, give us a track for just doing anything in the game. I don't know if you remember me saying that so many years ago. Just give us, for any XP we earn anywhere in the game playing Destiny, give us a track where we can earn stuff. And they did. They brought the season pass out. And I don't know how many other companies had season pass bars before that, but I thought Destiny did a good job with that. And it kept me invested for, like I said, over 10 years now. Ongoing game, I don't think anything can beat No Man's Sky. I already stated my opinion there. So I thought maybe because it is still going after 10 years and it's debatable whether this is the end or whether it's going to be a whole fresh new thing come June of next year. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I'm always, of course, the Destiny shill. I'm always the optimist when it comes to the Destiny game. But that's where I stand on it, Dimwee. So thanks for your question. I appreciate you putting that in there.
Yeah. If you were to take the expansions out of the equation for Destiny, you still think it's really good live service? Just all the other stuff.
The season passes kind of feed off of the expansions, though. The themes are kind of goes with that season. Yeah. But yeah, I'm
just thinking of live services more like all the other stuff you get, and is it good to keep you interested year round?
Like Fortnite, right? Because Fortnite doesn't really have expansions. They just keep throwing a bunch of commercial stuff into the game. It's the same, no build or build arena type battle royale, right? They really have never changed the equation over all these years. So it's funny. It used to be a zombie game. I actually played it when it was a zombie game when it first came out. And
Destiny, I think, was actually almost better in a way with live service a few years ago. I think it's gotten worse, with the seasons and stuff. Yeah. I'm not trying to talk you out of your opinion. I'm just talking it through even myself. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting, kind of. I feel like they're always kind of close to being amazing. And, you talk about things being the same with Call of Duty, but things are kind of the same with Destiny. If you really like the season pass bar, it's the same every season and things like that. And if that works for you, that's great. Mm-hmm. For me, that does not work. I prefer live service that's changing a little bit, more changing.
You like discovering stuff and new things. I get that. Yeah, we've mentioned that before.
Or new ways to do the same things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to stick too long on that because I had one surprise little bonus topic of the week. Ooh. And this is based on a conversation I actually had. Man, our feedback channel blew up this week, and I got into it with some people. I don't mean get into it. I wasn't like having an adamant argument. I was having some genuine back and forth with a lot of our community in here because, this week we got such great feedback from last Saturday's show. I don't even know what day it is anymore, Kingsley. We keep jumping around on our live shows. It's the holidays, man.
Although you're Saturday now.
Yeah, it is my Saturday. Yeah, you're right. But the one thing I mentioned on that show was the way Bungie restricts our materials and how it's really tough to farm them. Materials like Glimmer and enhancement cores were the two currencies I never seem to have enough of. And a lot of you told me you have tons of them. So I asked them, how many enhanced and crafted weapons do you have? And the answers are very mixed. So I enhanced an Anonymous Autumn sidearm that I got from the Crucible drop. And I want to test it in Crucible. So what I did, I kept a record of everything I spent to fully enhance the sidearm because there's no crafting. All you can do is enhance the weapon now. So this was the process. First, you have to activate the enhancement. That means you have to pay some enhancement cores. I think it's 19 or 20 of them. And I think 7,500 Glimmer to just activate the node where you can start enhancing. Next set, you got to get the weapon to level 11. I know a lot of you guys that play the game a lot are, I'm preaching to the choir here, but you got to get the weapon level to 11, which means you have to kill about, I want to say it's like 150 per level of enemies. They've scaled it down a little bit, but it's still a lot of kills if you try to do it manually. So what I do is I will pay, they have it where you can actually pay Glimmer and enhancement cores to get that up to, like, they do one level at a time all the way to level 11. And then once I did that, I could activate the tier 1 enhancement. But then after that, to get unlocked tier 2 enhancement, I have to get the weapon to 17, just like I do in crafting. And once you get to tier 2 enhancement, you pay your money and it's enhanced. It's fully enhanced. So to do this, I spent for one weapon, 99,500 glimmer, 61 enhancement cores, 6 enhancement prisms, and 2 ascendant alloys to enhance one weapon. I have 5 of these sidearms with several different combos I use for Crucible, all fully enhanced. It also didn't help that every Iron Banner engram I wanted to focus for farming the new Tenacious Mastery, that rocket assisted sidearm, I still don't have the roll I want yet. I focused about 30 engrams at 25,000 glimmer each, 750,000 glimmer to focus those weapons, and I still don't have the roll. I still have 15 to 20 engrams. I'm going to try to finish up the Iron Banner before reset. Here's my hot take. They need to bring back crafting, as it is, one, too expensive to enhance many of the role configurations, and second, it just needlessly takes up more vault space, which is already maxed out. They need to offer a selection of craftable weapons every season, and especially the current seasonal activity weapons. Second, quit putting artificial caps on important currencies in the game. Now, on those 2 hot takes, I had a member mention that the enhanced weapons really didn't add much to the weapon. So my question to you guys is, the second question is, do you enhance weapons? If so, how many do you enhance? And secondly, do you feel squeezed with the game materials and currency to do it if you enhance weapons? And lastly, do you think enhanced weapons give you an advantage, or is investing all these materials a waste of time and money? I'm just curious what you guys think. Since I have Alekate here too, which is, you do a lot of hardcore raiding and stuff, do you enhance weapons at all? Or is it something you don't worry about?
Well, I'm
sorry, that was a long diatribe.
Kind of the eyeball. No, you're fine. Like I say, I've been playing for a while. Like I say, I'm kind of a hardcore. I've got enhancement cores coming out my ears. This whole Iron Banner sidearm, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm glimmer poor because that's the material you're using to focus those engrams.
Yep.
And there is no, and yeah, there's ways, other material currencies that you can trade in to get glimmer.
Not a lot, but there's some.
Yeah. I say crafting, that's great. You get your 5 red borders, and then you can actually play with each role you want. And you can just sit there, take that same one. Yep. If you wanted to go and switch just one perk, you can do that. You don't have to farm forever to go and find that new perk.
Right.
So crafting is definitely a little bit easier as far as materials go. I think it's a little more friendly for people who are trying to find that perfect role. And even if you have it fully built and enhanced, and then you decide, well, I want to change one perk, it's one perk. The material cost to go and change that one is so minor compared to, trying to find a whole new weapon that has everything except that one.
Right. I follow you.
So
Kingsley?
I mean, yeah.
Sorry. No, anything else you want to say?
Sorry, Alekate.
Oh, nope, I'm fine.
My ADHD's kicking in. I'm starting to overtalk people. Sorry about that. My stuff's wearing off. What say you, Kingsley?
The conversation has so many ways to take it because
it's loaded.
Yeah, it is loaded. You always bring up questions that have like 10 points instead of 1 point. So.
I write as I think. So when I was writing this out last night,
and I like to be thorough, so then I try to answer each one. But so here's the thing. I think just on the topic of crafting or not crafting, look, I don't care that much, even though I kind of slightly prefer RNG. I've said in the past, I would love a system where a lot of weapons are RNG at first, and then you can craft them later, maybe a season later. So maybe even hopefully that's what they'll do with these seasonal weapons. Okay. That being said, I'm not going to be upset if they make seasonal weapons crafted again. That is the least of my care or worry in the world. So if you guys want crafted weapons, sure. Maybe with raids or dungeons, make it a little bit harder, or you can't craft them right away. I don't know. I don't care so much on that. But I do remember, even when weapons are crafted, you seem to complain just as much about being resource poor with those too.
It takes money, but the thing is like Kate said, you can interchange stuff. If say you want to try Enhanced Head Seeker, and in PvE it just doesn't really do much for you, right? So you're coming back, you're going to put something else in place of that.
Oh yeah.
And to swap it out, it is not as expensive. Yeah. It's not as expensive, yes. And even Deadpool said, they limit the amount of shaders you can favorite. Yes, I know that too. I've had to pick and choose which shaders are going to stay in my favorite list. Because if you ever try to search for a shader, it is intense. And you're like, they all look, now with this new interface, they all look alike. And you're like, I don't remember what that did to my, so if you don't, they need to have some kind of labeling system or something. I don't know.
Some way to search.
Yeah. Or to maybe even sort them by when you got them. Maybe a time, I don't know, whatever. But it's funny. Last night I was going through my, my inventory, and my harmonic balancers were maxed out. You can only hold 5 in your inventory, which, why, Bungie? Why? If I want to save up 20 of them over the 4 seasons I play, getting it from the season pass bar, why should I have to find something to use them on? Because I'm afraid I'm going to forget to pull them out of my collections or out of my season pass bar. And yes, I know, Jimmy, you can go back in previous seasons and pull stuff out. I always worry about losing it though, or forgetting that I had left it there. So what I did is I had started getting the frames for my age-old Bond. It's an auto rifle, a void auto rifle that I love from the Last Wish raid. Yeah. Last Wish. And I've always loved it. It's a 360 heavy burst. It's what they call a high impact frame, and it's very stable. It sounds awesome. So I said, okay, fine. I needed to use, I think 4 of my 5 that I had in the inventory. And I went ahead and I had 10 of those in my inventory in my vault. I found the ones that I could use the harmonic balancers on. I, got all the weapon frames I needed, immediately dismantled all 10 of the weapons, because now I have a trump card. I can make whatever I want because of crafting. So I went to the Witch Queen area, the weapon crafting area, and I crafted it together. Now I've got to rank it up again, and there again, I can rank it up manually if I want, but I got to use more glimmer, and I got to use more enhancement cores, which seem to be something I never can get enough of. So
riddle me this, if I can interrupt, Todd.
Please.
So they're giving us the harmonizers, so we can go and pull these borders out of the red borders, so we can craft weapons. But then they're giving us new weapons, and they're saying, well, you're not allowed to craft these.
Yeah, it was a bad decision.
They're giving us mixed messages here. They've got to pick a track and stick to it, because everybody's getting caught in the middle. They either have harmonizers with nothing that they can go and use them on,
right,
and so they're going to waste, or their vault's filling up with all these things waiting for harmonizers, and they can't get enough to go and break them down so they can start crafting.
Now, see, if they did that, if they brought a collection for like the next season, the next Act 1, these are the collection of world weapons that you can now craft. I thought they were going to do that. I really did. When they talked about it earlier before Final Shape, I thought they were going to do that and start integrating more weapons that you can craft. Because what it does is it gets rid of all your duplicates in your vault. And I'm staring
the only ones they're introducing are from the older raids. They're reworking the raid.
Yeah. And I so want to run the Garden of Salvation raids. I love all those rifles. I don't care even if they're not any good in the Crucible. I still love the way they sound. I still, to this day, best sounding weapons they've ever made. I love the aesthetics of those weapons. But like I said, I got rid of 10 slots just by putting my harmonizers together and go ahead and pulling the trigger and getting that. And of course, then I went back on my season pass bar and gathered up my harmonizers that I couldn't pick because it was maxed out. And then the worst thing that happened to me this week, I was playing Iron Banner and it was a Wednesday. I had maxed out my strange coins already. And I just had to just sit there and not get any more strange coins. Because if you max out your strange coins, they don't drop for you anymore in Crucible. And they sure as hell don't go to your postmaster to accumulate. So you just are playing activities. So how motivated are you going to be to go play activities until Xur shows up? Just little things like that I'm wondering what the hell Bungie's thinking. and I don't mean to sound like a grouch. I really don't. These are things that have been bugging me ever since I jumped into Destiny 2, the later parts of it. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a topic of the week. Now, I think they kind of I think they're kind of trying to meet everyone halfway with this enhancement, because a lot of people said, well, I like going for the RNG. And then there's people who are like, well, I'd rather have the frames. So I think this enhancement was kind of their middle ground of trying to satisfy both sides. But the problem is you enhance that weapon and you can't go back and swap it out for other stuff down the road. I just really think they need to bring back the crafting. So that was all. That's all I had.
Oh, well, hold on. I still have lots to talk about. You interrupted me.
I'm not leaving it.
And no one even answered the question yet on, are they worth it? Do we need the enhanced
That was
versions?
my next. I was going to follow up with that. I wanted to give you your due, though. Go ahead.
Okay. Next point on Glimmer cost.
Hold on a sec. Kingsley, you're going to realize as you podcast with me more that just because I ask all those questions doesn't mean I have to get perfect answers for it. I just want your thoughts.
Well, but since you bring it up, I'm going to have opinions.
I know you are.
On the Glimmer thing, I think it should always be a thing where if there's a regular way to do it where you have to level up the weapons. And I remember you used to always say you liked in other games, you loved using the weapons and leveling up. Or if there's a shortcut way to level them up, it should be slightly painful and expensive to do the shortcut way. Think about like you doing the work in your yard yourself or paying a professional to do it.
Right.
And you can't do unlimited work through professional because at some point you're going to run out of money.
Right.
So
either way, it's going to hurt.
I follow that. Okay.
I mean, I agree that the numbers can be looked at. Maybe they're charging too much Glimmer, but it should never be a system where they make it so low because people are complaining, I want to level up every single weapon and it costs 10 Glimmer, so it's easy to do. Okay. There should always be some pain, some amount where you can't do all of them.
Totally agree.
All right. Well, I don't know, because I feel like some people would be like, unless it gets down to the level where it's not painful, they would not agree. You know?
I agree, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly, right. The next point about people, are the weapons worth it?
Yes.
See, we may not even have to worry about it anyways. Some are and some aren't. And I think a lot of people think more are worth it than they really are. There were some examples given in the Discord where that's not going to help much in PvP or even PvE. Sometimes it doesn't help much. We've talked about this for years. Like some of these weapons that come from the raids and the enhanced versions are like, it's not that much better. So I really think instead of enhancing every single weapon just to try it out, you really should think long and hard about this may not be as good as I'm hoping or thinking it will be, and so maybe kind of hold on that weapon or test it out first non-enhanced and then give that a try. And a lot of these points are things people gave their input.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
And then the last point, I really loved the discussion because people gave examples on both sides of it where I would love for us to have a community survey, but like, this is why I almost have more faith in Bungie because, and I know this can be just biases and we don't have enough sample size in our community, but I feel like most people were saying that they were okay with materials. There was examples given of both ways where like people that don't grind a lot or play the game a lot and they just upgrade or enhance or craft some weapons and they're fine on materials. But then there was other examples given of people that play a lot and they have pretty much everything crafted and they still have a lot of materials. So it can be done. And then the last point on that is think long and hard about ways to optimize playing. I do also believe that not all materials should be given everywhere. You can't just be saying, I'm on patrol or a lost sector and I want to get ascendant shards. I want to get all the materials, right?
Sure.
It makes sense for some materials to be on slightly harder things. And I sometimes wonder if like, I'm not just saying you, but some people that are more in PvP and not in the seasonal activities a lot, or even raiding, you don't have to like, I'm not saying you need to be in raids to get everything, but like, I don't know, because I know, and from seeing what some people have written, the main two things I'm in are these days are raiding and seasonal activities. And I really think those activities provide a lot more weapons that you can dismantle because they're junk. They rain material and weapons and glimmer on you. And I really think there are things in the game that if someone is willing to do a little bit more, then it's more efficient for your time than just patrolling around or doing PvP and then not getting as many materials.
Yeah, we get screwed as Crucible players. We don't get half the rewards that you guys do, and it's unfortunate. Maybe they can take another look at that, but there's certain activities if you like to play a certain part of Destiny and you don't want to play the GMs or the high level, expert raids and stuff.
Yeah, 'cause I don't do GMs really, and I have tons of materials. I do them occasionally.
Right.
And when it's like the double drop week, you don't even need to do GMs. You can do even like Legend Nightfalls, have as much of a chance or even Master, and they just rain loot upon you.
Strikes are so painful to do. Now, if they brought back Destiny 1 strikes, I'd be perfectly fine. I love strikes, but
get strikes too.
They're so limited as what strikes they offer now. So, I appreciate your input, guys. I know we're way over time tonight.
Sorry.
But, no.
Add more to that.
No. I love the conversation. All right, Mr. Fudd, play that intro music.
Oh, listen to the Guardian Downcast. Oh, it's a playlist. Yes. Ooh. And I've heard they've won awards for it and such.
Thank you, Mr. Fudd. Well, for one of our final segments of the show, we like to pick our song for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. It's a little sample of what myself and our guests like to listen to, and we invite you guys to follow along if you want to follow us on Spotify or Apple Music. The playlists are there as well. It is the Guardian Downcast show playlist, not the podcast. It's the show playlist. And like I said, it's on Apple Music and Spotify. The links are always in our show notes down below in our audio episodes. We now have 1,227 songs on this playlist representing all of us and all of our past guests. It's the songs we've been picking since our show started in July of 2019. So kind of a time capsule. So I'll start with you, our guest of honor, Alekate. What song you picking tonight and why?
Okay, well, the song I'm going to add is by Poor Man's Poison, called Good People. And it's just always a song, every time I hear it, it just makes me stop and think. And, again, it's that whole topic, let's be good to each other. Let's, what can I say?
Okay, I get it. No.
Kind of a broken record.
I like it. Yeah, and you put it in our chat, so I pinned it. So we'll add it when we get out after the show tonight. Kingsley, what are you adding this week, man?
Well, the funny thing is my song is an iteration of your song. So should I go before you? But
no, I'll go. Yeah. For those of you who listened to the last episode, Kingsley and I just love this new movie called Heretic. And it's about a man who traps two young girls who work for the Mormons. And it's kind of a horror / suspense movie, but it was just so well done. And I'm not even a big horror guy, but because it was so well done, this
more
one
thriller than horror.
Yeah. This one song just stuck in my head. And it's a song I heard as a kid, but I never even thought about it until he played it in the middle of this movie. And, the song, that I chose is from a group called the Hollies. Now, they formed their band in 1962, and they're still touring today. I looked at Wiki here. It's 1962 to present. They're still doing it. They're from Manchester, England. And the song is... do you have it, Kingsley? I forgot to write it in my notes.
The song?
Yeah.
That you're talking about?
Yeah.
Your own song.
You mean the name of the song?
The name of the song.
Oh, my gosh. Well...
Don't worry, I'll edit that out, guys. Don't worry about it. I'll edit that out. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't have the name.
Oh my gosh. This is why sometimes live shows aren't the best, but I'll find it here.
The Air That I Breathe,
Yes,
because they keep saying that line over and over.
Yeah.
And I love this song too. I like it better than Creep.
Yeah.
Way better.
the reason I chose this Holly song, The Air That We Breathe, is it starts out with a whining guitar. I mean, 70s rock, the guitar instrumentation was so much more original than it is today. Maybe I'm a little biased, but man, the opening guitar lick on this, where it's just a sliding note and just a screeching guitar, and then he goes into a lot of finger work in it. It's just really great song. So The Air That We Breathe from the Hollies, which was one of the main songs I could not get out of my head from the movie Heretic, is my pick. And I think you have something related to it, Kingsley.
Yeah. So I'm going off the iteration of yours, which again, we're going with the movie. So as you learn from the movie, if you weren't already aware, and I was partially aware of this already, but Radiohead Creep, most people would agree it's an iteration of The Air That We Breathe, the Hollies. And of course, they got in a lawsuit. Well, funny enough, same thing happened once again with Lana Del Rey with her song Get Free. And then the funny thing is, Radiohead got sued by them. Then Radiohead sued Lana Del Rey for Get Free.
And he talks about this in the movie, guys. He talks about this. He explains to the girls, how this breaks down.
Yeah, it is just kind of funny how this happens. Ironic. But hey, and I'm not going to get into the whole opinion on that should happen or not, but it is a very interesting study in how people can break down on a base level. You can say there's almost like no original sounds, but of course it all goes together to make something that's unique. Mm-hmm. And when those uniquenesses are close enough, I can totally understand why people don't think that's a correct thing. Whether the artist meant to do that or not, who knows, right? But I do like Lana Del Rey, and I don't really have too much opinion on that, but I just thought I would add the song Get Free. Perfect. It came out 2017, and it's just a fun one to check out also.
You know what? We'll throw Creep in there too. Why not? We'll just throw all three songs. That way you guys, here's the challenge for you guys who listen to the playlist. Listen to all three songs and tell me if you think they sound alike. I don't know.
Probably, I would say the Lana Del Rey one would be the least.
I have a musical ear, and I hear pitch real well. I can sing on pitch, but it's not a great singing voice. But because I was a musician in band and stuff, I have a musical ear, but now I'm having a hard time figuring out where they ripped off the song. Anyway, we'll put all three in there, and you guys tell us in the feedback channel. Let me know if you guys think they're all the same. I'm curious.
Hi, this is Dimwee, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast. And while your choice of a subclass is probably questionable, just like your class choice, you're still probably a decent person.
Well, every week I like to give a shout out to a member of the week. This is someone I've noticed more active in our Discord community and has gotten involved in our show and just generally been a good person. As a reward, we'll give you a shout out on the show. Like tonight, they'll receive a special community member of the week role in the Discord with a nice little icon next to their name representing our show. Member shout out of the week this week goes to a Discord community member who's been here for over a year now. He's been very active in the Discord and in our Guardian Downcast 2 clan. Very friendly with the community. So congrats to Moyu Monger. Thanks for hanging out with us, sir, and congrats on being our member of the week. Just want to remind you again, that is the last week to participate in our listener survey on our website. Go to guardiandowncast.com/survey. Give us some honest feedback on the show. It'll only take you a few minutes to answer some questions, and we'll put you in the drawing to win a $100 Amazon digital gift card, which we will email directly to you with the code, or we can DM you in the Discord if you're a Discord member. Remember, that's guardiandowncast.com/survey. And remember to leave your email address so we can send you the gift card. Want to give a special shout out to our patrons of the show. Because they give back to the show and community, they replace the needed funds that we would otherwise have to get from sponsors and advertisers. I hate advertising. And it all goes to support the production and the community management costs that make the show go and what it is today. I wanted to welcome a new patron of the show. A big thank you to a new Gatorade patron, Bionic Koala. Welcome, and don't forget to check out all the past extra Patreon episodes if you so incline. I've been playing some Iron Banner with you this week, dude. Good games, man. Very, very decent player. If you guys know what I mean by that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you joining the Patreon community. A quick shout out to our Dungeon Champion patrons like Technical, Raffi, Deadpool1 Merc, and Darth Noodle. Thank you to our Raid Boss patrons, Jealous, Frostbite, and Amazing Taco King. Thanks everyone for giving back to the show. And remember, all the Patreon funds go right back into our community. Just a reminder that we have another new live show next week on my YouTube channel. The link to it will be in the show notes down below if you want to jump in and say hi to us. We had a really great show this past couple of weeks, and I get excited every week. I see our community show up and interact with us. Next week, we have our survey prize drawing as Kingsley Mack and I will be hanging out and probably talking about our impressions of the Dawning event. I'll announce it in our Discord as a reminder. And you can also send out questions for this show as well. You can send us a voicemail at guardiandowncast.com and hit the send voicemail button on the far right of your screen. Believe me, you can't miss it. It follows you everywhere. And don't forget, we go live every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern if you want to join and interact with us in real time. It's youtube.com/@ToddtheGatr. It's ToddtheGatr. The replay will also be available if you aren't able to make it, but we hope to see you live. That's a wrap. Another episode in our collection. For our listeners out there, we have 280 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over our community. So take a look at those, especially if you're just finding out about us. And if you like what you hear, the only way we promote our show is by you. Tell a friend about us. Everything's at guardiandowncast.com. Special thanks to Alekate for joining in this week. We had a great show with her. Thanks to my co-host RNG Gatr and Kingsley Mack. You can find them in our Discord. I'll also have their links in the show notes down below as well. If you'd like to follow them, you can contact me at ToddtheGatr all across the socials and gaming platforms. And you can reach me via email at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. Remember, as you're playing Final Shape, take breaks and get outside and touch grass. Priceless Cloud. Hey everyone, remember we're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, and your destiny. And be good to your fellow Guardians in the Destinyverse.
Defeat is not surrender, Guardian.
Thank you all so much for listening. And later, Guardian. That's it for the show, for the live show. I want to thank everyone who stopped out tonight to join the conversation with us. You guys and gals have been awesome, and I just appreciate all the feedback in chat tonight. Hopefully, we've addressed any questions or comments you had in the chat, especially with our guest Alekate tonight. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to the channel. If you want to get to know, when our next show is live, you can hit the, show all notifications or whatever. I don't know, whatever bell or thing you want to press there, that's fine too. But more importantly, you can join our Discord. Our Discord community is very vibrant. It's discord.gg/GuardianDownCast. You can give us more feedback. You can ask us questions for the show, or just hang out and talk with members. There's an LFG. We have a Destiny Talk channel that's very busy. So much more. And of course, the new activity bot that Kingsley brought into the Discord. We're loving that, how easy it is to set up stuff to play with friends. So, yeah, it's great. If you want to know anything about our show, I'm not going to sit here and list all our links. Just go to guardiandowncast.com. Everything's right there. You can even leave us a voicemail and all that stuff too. Just click the right buttons. And reminder, last week for our survey, it's guardiandowncast.com/survey. There's no button on the site for that. You have to go to that actual address to be able to participate in the survey. And next week, we'll have a spin the wheel live on the show, and someone's going to win a $100 Amazon digital gift card for Christmas. So yeah, help people out during Christmas time. I think it'd be a pretty cool thing. So, Alekate, thank you very much for being on the show tonight. It was a great show. Thank you.
And thank you for having me.
Any shout outs to anybody in the community, or you want to tell people where they can find you?
Pretty much you'll find me in the Discord. So
okay. And that's Alekate.
Good place to be.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you. That was a good show. Kingsley Mac, how can people find you, sir?
As Kingsley Mac, all the places. And I am also Kingsley Mac on Blue Sky. I'll be doing that a little bit more too. I'm not getting rid of Twitter. And hopefully Kingsley Mac soon in the game, but right now I'm just Kingsley in the game.
Thanks everybody for coming out tonight to our live show. If you did miss our live show, there will be a replay. Usually there's a day span before I release it. I have to do a little bit of tweaking on it before I let it go. So just know that unless you're pausing the live show tonight, you won't be able to watch it again until another day or so. So thanks everyone for coming out, and thank you all very much for listening and for watching our show. And I'll see you in the Discord. Later, Guardian.
Have a good one.
Good night.
No way, Bowie!